I rub my sore eyes and sit up in a daze, the cough still scraping at my throat. The room around me is a small thatched hut, only a few square meters wide, like a toilet stall with a slowly burning bonfire. In the middle of the floor, outside the wind howls and the dark is so absolute, I cannot see my hand in front of my face. I should be in my school dorm right now asleep, and instead I am here a prank. A kidnapping or something worse. Every possibility surfaces at once, but before I can chase any of them down, a voice cuts straight into my mind. Survivor, the voice says. Welcome to the dark world. To survive, please remember the following precautions. Unknown dangers lurk in the night, and keeping the bonfire burning greatly reduces the probability of being attacked. The danger level is greatly reduced during the day, so cherish the short daytime, and explore and gather as many resources as possible. The shelter is the foundation for survivors to live in the dark world, and you must upgrade your shelter as soon as possible. The survival manual has many functions. Read it carefully and protect it well. A natural disaster will be randomly drawn every natural month, so please be aware. And finally, good luck favors those who strive to survive. The voice cuts off as abruptly as it started, but I know it was real and not an illusion. Cold wind seeps through the gaps in the hut, and I shiver, taking a deep breath of cold air, then quickly tightening my jacket and crowding closer to the bonfire to squat down and rub my hands. The warmth dispels the chill, enough for my frozen thoughts to start flowing again. The indoor temperature in the middle of July is winter cold. If this were China, it would have to be the very northernmost region. Be transported here in an instant, with a voice speaking directly inside my skull, is far past anything existing technology can do. I have clearly been caught up in some mysterious event, and since I am here I might as well make the best of it. As a contemporary college student, raised on internet novels, I accept transmigration faster than most people would. I take a deep breath of the smoky air, stand up, and survey the small hut for the survival manual. The voice mentioned, only a few square meters cannot hide much, and in the corner, I find a black handbook the size of a notebook, along with a chipped worn stone axe. The cover reads, Survival Manual in plain printed characters, and the moment my eyes touch it, information rises directly in my mind. The survival manual integrates the various functions of the dark world, and if it is damaged, the shelter takes corresponding damage. So the book is essentially the core of the shelter. The voice already told me, the shelter is the foundation here, and if it falls, the cold alone will kill me before any monster does. My expression darkens, and I flip the manual open carefully. The pages are textured like animal hide. The flyleaf carries the 6 precautions verbatim. First page logs weather is heavy fog, strong wind, overcast. Temperature is outdoor, -7.1 degrees, and time is night. Remaining 2 hours 32 minutes. 35 seconds. The animal hide paper updates in real time, like a screen, which is unsettling. But transmigration is real, so any other absurdity is reasonable. The second page is the chat channel divided into world, region, and friends. The world channel shows over 8 billion people, and is dropping by hundreds of thousands a second. As I watch, the region channel is locked at exactly 10,000. Over 8 billion is the entire population of Blue Star, which means everyone has transmigrated, and how the elderly, sick, and disabled will survive in a place like this is not something I want to picture. I lived alone after my grandfather passed, so I do not have to worry about relatives I cannot reach. I opened the world channel, and instantly drown in scrolling messages I cannot read fast enough to make out. I switched to region instead. Help. I think I have been kidnapped. Can someone call the police, buddy? I am a police officer from America, and I want to call the police too. What kind of black tech is this manual? That pipes thoughts into my head. Did we transmigrate? Or are we test subjects in a secret experiment? Have you seen the world counter 8 billion? Did everyone on Blue Star transmigrate? Dad, Mom, are you here? Stop shouting. 8 billion split into 10,000 person regions. Do you really think you would land next to someone? You know anyone there? Since we are in the same region, we cannot be far apart. Let us move in together. Move in with the danger out there. Only a fool leaves their shelter. Can someone give me clothes? I sleep naked. I will freeze to death. Awesome in this cold. Who has spare clothes? You are on your own. Then a voice cuts in mid-sentence, saying it hears wolves, and asking if everyone's bonfires are still burning, that he just opened the door to look outside, and the wind blew the flame out, and then he is screaming, telling something not to come closer. Then nothing. Someone tries to call him back. Brother, are you okay? Do not scare people then. The region counter clicks down from 10,000 to 9,999. The precaution about bonfires lands with a weight nobody can pretend not to feel, and the chat falls silent for more than 10 seconds before someone forces a sentence. The bonfire must not go out at night. As soon as it is light, we collect firewood first. Now, everyone has a direct sense of how dangerous the dark world is. I look at my own crackling bonfire with a pounding heart, read in silence for a while longer, then flip onto the third page, the trade channel, which is empty because no one has listed anything yet. The fourth page is upgrade, showing level 1 shelter thatched hut, requiring 100 units of wood and 20 units of stone, with a note that the drafty hut is the lowest tier, and that upgrading unlocks new functions. Every page after that is blank, so the manual currently has environment, chat, trade, and upgrade, and there are clearly more functions waiting to unlock. Those blank pages cannot be a diary. I close the book, Flip back and reread the 6 precautions one more time. The danger level drops in the day. And there are less than 2 hours of night left. I have to rest fast and adjust my state, because every precaution may be the line between life and death. Now I sit cross-legged by the fire, and force myself into half-sleep, dozing and waking, never trusting the dark enough to drop deep. With 20-some minutes left, I jolted up, slapped myself, and run through the latest version of the 9th set of National Middle School Students Broadcast Gymnastics. My body is not particularly strong, but I know warming up before strenuous exercise prevents injury, and waking up early to do it inside the shelter waste none of the precious daytime. By the closing jumping exercise, the cold stiffness is eased and a steady, warm current runs through me. Less than 10 minutes of night remain. I pick up the worn stone axe, weigh it, swing it lightly. The manual identifies it as a no-rank axe of ordinary quartzite, mainly for chopping firewood and trees, usable as a weapon in special circumstances. According to the handbook, item rarity runs black iron, rank bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, legendary, mythical. 8 ranks total, and what I am holding does not even reach black iron. Speechless, I wonder how many swings it will take to fell a tree. Time runs out. The night closes its last second and daylight descends. The panel updates weather, sunny outdoor 5.5 and indoor 11.3. Daytime remaining 8 hours. The temperature jump from the freezing outdoor minus to single-digit positive is welcome, and the indoor bonfire makes the difference real. But 8 hours is not much daylight to plan. Resource runs, exploration, and a return trip in. Cherish the short daytime, the precaution said. And now I understand why across the dark world, everyone is bursting out of their shelters. 8 hours is short, and I do not know yet whether the daytime length will change later. I do not rush out. Instead, I cautiously read the chat for a few minutes to see if anyone has hit danger on the way out. Somebody bragging that he held it all night in the outhouse, and brothers, let us go. Somebody claiming he plays construction games, and this is home turf. Somebody marveling at the beautiful jungle in fresh air and calling it paradise. No one reports immediate danger. I take the stone axe, push aside the curtain of the hut, and step out. Dew clings to grass blades around the hut, sparkling under faint light, and insects and birds chirp softly through unfamiliar trees and shrubs. The harmonious scene only makes me grip the worn axe tighter. Whatever entity dragged everyone here from Blue Star did not do it out of kindness. Nobody abducts the entire population of a planet for a vacation. The handbook says daytime is reduced danger, not no danger, and overnight. The regional counter has fallen from 10,000 to 9,982. More than a dozen people gone in a single night. I leave the shelter cautiously and step into the unknown. Survivors are already in the trees, and after the first axe swing, the regional channel explodes. Even the construction game enthusiast goes honest after one swing, complaining that a flimsy 10-centimeter sapling is harder than rock, and asking how he is supposed to gather 100 units of wood for an upgrade at this rate. Physical labor type laughs that even he, doing manual labor every day, only fells 1 tree in 5 minutes for 1 unit of wood, and even he has to rest, so the day will be brutal. Someone trying to beg half a unit gets called a dummy and told to go chop his own. Not forget how those people died. Someone else offers private photos for food and wood. It's called out as an online beggar and slides into a private chat after a particularly suggestive image. Get to work, the channel says. No fire equals death. I close it. About 30 meters from the shelter, I find a small birch forest. Choose a thinner sapling and swing the recoil up. The haft and the shallow notch I leave on the bark tell me everything. I adjust posture, aim at the same notch, and chop with all my strength. 8 minutes later, the sapling falls and I have 1 unit of wood. I do not rush to pick it up. I rub my arm, rest, and run the math. A strong adult collecting 1 unit per 5 minutes only manages 96 in 8 unbroken hours, and rest and food cut that down. 60 units a day would be excellent. With nightly bonfire consumption added, gathering 100 units takes at least 2 full days. Part-time work has kept me fitter than the average fragile college student, but I am no laborer without better tools. I am looking at 30 to 40 units a day. No more. I do not rush to join the chopping army. People who play games know exploration and quests beat blind grinding in a fresh map, and although this is not a game, mapping the surroundings and clearing dangers around the shelter makes future tree chopping safer. Carrying the worn axe, I head east toward the rising sun, climbing bushes and grass and watching for danger, all of which burns through stamina faster than flat ground. About 15 minutes later, 300 meters from the shelter, a pitch-black region rears up directly ahead, with occasional howls coming out of it that lift the hair on my neck. The transition is only meters wide, and yet feels like another world entirely, completely unnatural. Facing it, I prudently stop the clear, relatively safe ring. Still has more to give, and there is no need to risk myself yet. Looking sideways, the boundary curves around the shelter in a circle, a dark encircling, and for now, my explorable area is the 300-meter radius. Whether it expands with shelter level, I do not know yet. Hungry and thirsty after the sleepless night, I pivot to look for wild fruit, and as I turn, sunlight catches a glint of metal among weeds. Along the dark border, pushing the weeds aside, I see a wooden treasure chest, hidden in shadow, with a clasp that briefly caught the sun. The handbook tags it treasure chest, Black iron rank with 60% chance of unranked items. 30% black iron, 10% bronze. The manual never mentioned chests, so this is new information. The black iron probability split is honestly stingy, and my luck has historically been bad. I am a bit unlucky, which is no secret to me. But the box is more enticing than gold to a hungry man. I drag it into the open and open it without ceremony. 3 items materialize: herring can no rank. Fermented herring, an incomparable delicacy for certain creatures. Farmer's spring water no rank. Ordinary water bottled by a farmer's wife. Not sweet but quenches thirst. Small water bucket blueprint. Black iron rank after use. The manufacturing technique for a small water bucket. Consumes 3 units of wood to craft. A bucket of 10-liter capacity. Big bucket carries a lot. I remember streamers vomiting on stream from herring, and decided is trade goods. Not food. I would throw up more than I would keep down. The water is what I urgently need, and I unscrew it and take a small sip. And even though the description warned that the unsweetened water is plain, my parched mouth finds it sweeter than any beverage I have ever had. Refreshing. The blueprint hits last and hits hardest, because in the dark world, crafting needs blueprints. Handcrafting is slow and quality is unreliable. A water bucket is universal, and 8 billion transmigrants form an impossibly large market. This is a hen that lays golden eggs, worth far more than an ordinary bronze item. I will never trade it. I use it on the spot. And the message confirms. I have mastered small water bucket manufacturing. If a black iron chest yields this much, what does a bronze, silver, gold yield? I reign the daydream in. The territory is 300 meters around, but actually 280,000 square meters, and a chest the size of a basketball. In that environment is a needle in a haystack. Finding one is already extreme luck. Still, I sweep the entire ring for an hour, and find only an open-air stone quarry to the west. No other chest, no fruit. Just barrenness. The upside of barrenness is no beasts with chests. Off the table for now. I follow the original plan, and sweat through the birch grove for 3 units of wood, then come back to attempt a bucket. 10 minutes per bucket. I had assumed crafting would be instant. The math: chopping 1 unit takes 10 minutes. Including rest, and a bucket costs 3 units of wood, plus 10 minutes of crafting. If buckets sell for 4 units of wood, anything above 4 is pure profit. And given the crafting bottleneck, supply will lag demand, so they will not be cheap. I will list at night when everyone is back inside. For the next several hours, I gather wood, craft buckets, and reserve wood for the night's bonfire. The work is grim. 6 hours later. The sky has darkened less than half an hour tonight. I have stockpiled 7 buckets and 12 loose units of wood. My movements have gone stiff and slow, and I am about to walk back when another tree crashes, and there in the open is a chest, emitting a dark green metallic luster. Another chest. I rub my eyes, half believing exhaustion is hallucinating, and the chest is still there, sweeping all my fatigue away. I sprint over the handbook. Tags: a treasure chest, bronze grade with 20% unranked. 40% black iron, 30% bronze, and 10% silver. The branch fragment still wedged in its side tells me it fell from the birch I just felt, wedged perfectly into the leaves. The dark green completely matching them. Without the sun straight on it, I would never have found it, even if I had searched the territory 10 times. From now on, I tell myself, do not stare only at the ground. Look up till I open it and 4 items appear. 1 more than the black iron held, so a bronze chest also drops more items. The first item is long, thick, black and hard baguette, no rank. Incredibly hard bread. Consume with caution if you have bad teeth. Doubles as a weapon. I have not eaten in a day, and tears prick at the sight of food. I usually prefer rice and noodles, but I am not picky now. The second item. Disposable lighter, no rank. Plastic case with 2/3 fuel left, and the gilded characters, heaven and earth, on the casing. A lighter of unusual origin. Useless once empty. I caress it, reluctant to put it down even on earth. In ordinary wilderness, a fire source is critical. Let alone here. I cannot rub stick a fire, and the bonfire died at dawn. Without a flame at night, the dark could finish me. The lighter is no rank in name. Only to me, it is far more precious than an ordinary black iron item. The first 2 are useful, but I am conflicted. This is a bronze chest, and I expected a bronze item. The third item answers it. Bronze axe, bronze grade. Made of bronze, sturdier and sharper than stone. With the description ribbing me about whether I drop this bronze axe, this silver axe for this golden axe. I swing it twice and the air whistles. Chopping speed should more than double, as expected of a bronze axe. If I use this to chop, I want to charge into the trees and fell 100. But the sun is going. I shift to the 4th item. The 4th item makes the bronze axe slip out of my grip and thumb to the floor. A palm-sized glass bottle, slender-necked, holding more than half of pale purple liquid that shimmers eerily in the last of the sunset. Fountain of mutation, silver rank, sustainable. When placed on the ground, forms a fountainhead of alienation that produces 100 milliliters of mutated spring water per day. Ingestion causes unknown mutations in living creatures, with effect related to amount consumed, with a glib pitch about not having enough hands and legs in joining the path of evolution. A silver from a bronze chest is 10% probability, and I have hit it the first time. I was already content with one bronze item, and a silver came on top. Better still. It is sustainable, far more valuable than any one weapon or tool. The unknown mutations warning makes me promise I will absolutely never drink it on myself. The thought of growing extra arms after a sip sends a shiver through me. Even if I never use it, it trades for resources, and someone else may want to taste evolution. The note says any living creature, so plants and animals also count, though the actual outcome is anyone's guess. A cold gust hits. I tighten my coat and the panel reads 21 minutes of daytime left. I haul the chest, the buckets and the wood back, racing against full dark, then light the bonfire from the lighter, and slowly thaw out outside. The dark is the kind that swallows everything, and the howls are distant but real. The wilderness at night is too dangerous. From now on, return to shelter early with the bonfire's protection. I finally exhale. Meanwhile, the region channel is a whale. My bonfire went out. Send fire please. Attach selfie. Why do you need to borrow fire when you are already this hot, brother? I do not buy that, damn it. The temperature dropped again. What do I do? What can you do? Upgrade your shelter and prep more cold weather gear. That is all there is. Rubbing sticks for fire does not work, like the survival shows on TV. Do not be ridiculous. Do you think you are Bear Grylls? Flint 10 units of wood per piece. Only 3 pairs left. First come, first served, you profiteer. This is the time to unite. You should give it to everyone for free. Moral hypocrites, get out. Take it or leave it, or wait for the dark to swallow you whole. The desperation in the chat is real, and the regional counter is sliding down hour by hour. As the night drags on, I quietly congratulate myself on the lighter. Without it, I would be paying through the nose for an open flame. Right now I pick up the fountain of mutation. It produces water if placed on the ground, but I am not putting a silver rank mutation source outside, where some passing monster could drink it, and stop my shelter flat. I dig a 1 square meter 30 centimeter deep hollow in the middle of the floor with the bronze axe, and cork the bottle and pour the liquid in. The purple seeps into the soil, and lighter purple wells back up. The panel confirms the fountainhead is formed, and the current mutated spring water reserve is 100 milliliters. I am about to open trade to check bucket prices when the broadcast cuts in. The first day has ended, survivor. The voice says, have you striven for survival? To reward survivors who have worked hard, resources obtained will be converted into reward. Lottery wheels based on value. Each person gets 1 wheel, and the points are only used for tire calculation. Tier 1 requires more than 50 points, and grants a lottery wheel. Black iron rank. Tier 2 requires more than 100 and grants a bronze wheel. Tier 3 requires more than 200 and grants a silver wheel. Tier 4 requires more than 500 and grants a gold wheel. My breakdown is read out next. 33 units of basic resources at 33 points. For no grade items at 40 points. 1 black iron item at 20 points. 1 bronze item at 50 points. Total 293 points. 1 lottery wheel of silver rank. A silver light flashes and a palm-sized old silver white compass-like item drops slowly into my hand. I feel the rough texture against my palm, and surprise gives way to joy. The manual's last note about good luck favoring strivers is not an empty promise after all, and the system has put a tangible reward into a striver's hand on day 1. I run the math. I cleared Tier 3 by 93 points, but the Tier 4 line is 500. By the conversion ratio, even 3 silvers leave me 50 short. I found a bronze chest and a black iron chest in a single day, and rolled a silver inside, which is already among the luckiest paths possible. Many people probably did not even see a black iron chest. Even so, I am still far from Tier 4. Will anyone hit it? I shake the daydream off. I am already lucky, and I am not so close to the next line that the loss aches the people. 1 or 2 points short are the ones who will not sleep tonight. The chat confirms it as the rewards drop. Why did nobody warn about quests? I chopped a few trees and got 6 points and 0 rewards. I want compensation, you lazy dog. Blaming gravity for your inability to crap the week. Die first. My mentality is shattered. 99 points, 1 point off. Second tier pain, brother. I have 51 exactly. 1 over 1 to borrow it. You cannot lend points, and you are rubbing salt in the wound. Despicable. Good thing I got 53. Big brother, how did you hit 99? I asked until it smoked and got 60. Oh, I just opened a black iron chest, and the items added points chest. There are chests here. I missed a fortune shopping all day. The clown is me from the chatter. I scrape out useful information. The basic resource conversion rate to reward points is not the same for everyone. Some physically strong males got nothing for a unit of wood, while some weaker females got 2 points or more for the same unit, which means anyone working hard enough to gather resources is at least guaranteed Tier 1. Tier 2 is rare. Tier 3 is much rarer. I have not seen anyone in my brief skin admit to it, let alone Tier 4 though. It is entirely possible. Some are playing dumb to develop quietly. The settlement also confirms an obvious world building point. The system tracks per day, per survivor, and rewards effort rather than only outcome. So even the meekest grinder eats. The catch is that tier skipping requires items, and items require luck, and luck is finite. The people in chat who hit 99 and miss by 1 point will lose sleep tonight. I am not one of them. The compass tags itself lottery compass silver rank. Randomly draws 1 silver rank item. Single use. formerly the livelihood of a third-rate geomancer, whose livelihood later became a broken bowl. The joke is presumably that he wound up a beggar. Truly third-rate, a silver wheel hands me a silver item directly, which means a gold wheel hands a gold item. Overpowered silver is not easy. A bronze chest only has 10% odds. Statistically 10 chests from 1, and rolling silver from 1 chest. Must have eaten a year of my luck. Use it early, enjoy it early. Use it late and there is no discount. I trigger it, the pointer spins across fan-shaped grids, etched with characters I cannot read, then slows under my nervous gaze, and settles around 45 degrees clockwise. A silver light flashes, and a beast skin scroll bearing a purple eye appears. Skill scroll Eye of Taming. Silver rank uses to learn the skill of the same name, which slightly raises the spiritual power limit, and grants the ability to tame creatures, with spiritual power lower than mine, with the number controlled scaling on spiritual power, with a clip about colored contacts, not being for toony view, and weak creatures submitting or dying. 21 years old, and my face still flushes at this writing style. But I have built up resistance to weird item descriptions, and recover quickly beast taming. That is the beast tamer class in games. The dark world clearly has supernatural items, not just biotech. Every other item could be explained as genetic engineering, but a skill scroll cannot. The supernatural means unknown, which means danger and a sense of urgency rises. I have a head start and must work harder. Only enough strength deals with unknown threats, and in a supernatural world, there might be powers that bring back the dead grandpa. Maybe I can still see you. I clench the scroll and use it. The scroll spontaneously combusts and a faint, imperceptible purple light drives into my left eye. The pain is like thousands of needles, and I drop to my knees screaming, almost ready to dig the eye out. Half a minute later, the pain ends with a confirmation that I have learned it. I have taming silver rank. I am drenched in cold sweat with my heart still racing, filled with lingering fear. The scroll never warned me of the pain at all. From now on, scrolls get used in safe places, only because if a monster found me mid-learning, it would be over. Fortunately, I was inside the shelter. My head feels clearer, and I sense a faint instinct in my left eye, like I can control whatever I look at by thought alone. My pupil has gone light purple and looks eerie, though I do not see that yet. They only tames creatures with weaker spiritual power, and spiritual power involves the brain, so failure could be catastrophic. I must use it on creatures clearly weaker, and I cannot test it now, in a shelter empty of any creature. I am not walking into the night to find monsters. That is just suicide. I give up testing for now, and head to the empty chest where the baguette sits, planning to eat and then go list buckets. When I open the chest, my pupils contract. Swarms of large black ants, each soybean-sized with size shape, mandibles wide open, are feasting on my baguette, with new arrivals streaming in along pheromone trails. Dark world creatures are abnormal. Those mandibles cut through rock-hard bread, and kick up fine breadcrumbs, and the baguette is already 1/10 gone. Thieves, I shout. Get off my baguette. This is my only food and I've not even had a bite, and watching it shrink makes me anxious and angry. But I will not punch them with a bare hand, because their mandibles are sides, and my hand is softer than the bread, and a single bite would tear flesh in seconds. I scrabble for a tool and find none in reach. As the bread keeps disappearing, the just acquired skill clicks back into my head. How could I forget ants are creatures? As long as it is a creature, the Eye of Taming can tame it. Maybe ants have small brains and weak spiritual power, and mine cannot possibly be lower than theirs, so they are perfect for the test. The ants, gnawing at my baguette, go from disgusting to adorable in an instant. There are at least dozens on the bread. I pick the happiest looking one, and trigger Eye of Taming. For the first time, a faint, almost imperceptible purple flickers in my left eye, and the ant freezes mid-bite. A connection clicks open between us. If I want, I can sense its thoughts and command it. I tell it to perform a few small movements, and it obeys precisely. Controlling an unintelligent creature like this carries no burden. So I sweep my gaze across the others, one after another, and they freeze in place. Like a pause button has been pressed, dozens go down in a single string, until no active ant remains in sight. Then I feel a subtle pressure in my brain, a protective ceiling on my control, with no other adverse effect. Even on creatures as weak as ants, there is a control limit. The cap must scale with my spiritual power. To control more and stronger creatures, spiritual power must rise. I will need to pay attention to items that boosted. On the trade channel, after a brief contemplation, I order all the ants off the baguette and into a line on the floor. 63 of them. The handbook tags them as black safe ant. No rank, completely black. Mandibles shaped like scythes, possessing extremely strong biting force. Ability none. No rank. No abilities. Too weak. The black safe ant is strong among ants, but still an ant, and if they had not been on my food, I could have crushed most of them by stepping. As I wonder how to deal with them, my gaze lands on the fountain of mutation in the center of the room, and my mind opens. Mutated spring water mutates creatures unpredictably. Beneficial or harmful, cheap, disposable, plentiful. That describes black saith ants exactly. With enough of them, some lucky ones mutate beneficially, and the rest are no loss. The thought of strong individuals coming out of this restless bunch makes me jittery. Without further hesitation, I order them all to drink a mouthful. They march down the wall. I dug like a disciplined army, approach the fountain and drink. Without hesitation their bodies twist into form. Some swell like balloons and pop into mush. Half a minute later only 41 remain alive. 21 died in the mutation. Corpses strewn around the fountain. My stomach twists at the sight. Mutated spring water cannot be used casually. The death rate is too high. But my attention snaps to the survivors. Most are grotesquely deformed. Extra legs, missing mandibles, bloated belly, several times normal that they cannot drag along. And the panel marks them harmful and useless. -1 however, stand out thumb-sized. Dozens of times larger than before. Darker and shinier with 10-centimeter side mandibles. Black side hunting ant, black iron rank. Swift and possessing terrifying mandibles. Capable of immense destructive power ability. Tenfold biting force. The 8 are the lucky beneficial mutations. And not only did they evolve, they jump. A rank ant biting force was already terrifying. These gnawed through hard bread before mutation. And now combined with tenfold biting force. I half believe they could chew rocks. If a person were caught between those mandibles, I would rather not picture it. Hunting ants pose lethal threats to many creatures. And at scale even larger beasts would struggle. But there are only 8, so the ant army fantasy waits. I do not know where the black scythe ants came from. I will need to find their nest and capture the queen. And then the army becomes possible. The hunting ants would happily go nest hunting now. But it is night and them tunneling around outside. Risks luring monsters in day phase only. Then the 8 hunting ants get restless. And I follow their gaze to the corpses. And the deformed kin on the floor. They want to eat them. I have been wondering how to dispose of the waste. And I let them they swarm and devour everything. Corpses and living deformed kin alike. Until their bellies are round. And as they eat, the pressure in my head eases significantly. The hunting ants are no longer the same species as ordinary black scythe ants, which is why they will eat their living kin. Without hesitation, and from now on, any failed mutation can be cleaned up. Fed to them I recover a good chunk of spiritual power. And nod to myself satisfied. I wonder whether the hunting ants themselves can mutate. Further, if black iron is already this strong, silver would be a leap. I look at them, and the 8 tremble visibly, and step back instinctively, even though they cannot resist my commands. Are you serious about taking that step back? I think Riley, the seed of curiosity is planted. I cannot stop now before I can press further. The broadcast cuts in world announcement. Better assist survivors and guide them in the right direction. A temporary mission is now issued. Temporary mission: upgrade shelter. Please upgrade your shelter to level 2. Survivors who rank in the global top 10%. For upgrade speed, receive a resource gift package. Choosing one of warmth package, food package, or tool package. Survivors who rank in the regional top 100 receive a skill selection gift package with quality scaling on rank. Both channels go viral. People want all 3 packages and all the skill ranks at once. Holy crap, warmth, food, tool. I want them all. What do I do? Can I have all 3? Somebody pee on him to wake him up. Skill selection package. What? Skills sounds like a game. This is not scientific, is it? If I can grab all of these, I take off. Who is willing to exchange resources with me? People are pulling out wooden spears at 15 wood, or 5 stones each, marketed as a self-defense weapon, for home and travel against monster. Knocks at the door. A streamer is offering tenderness in private, with chat or video for a little wood and stone, promising the customer's heart will be comforted. Someone is lending 50 wood and 20 stone, at 10% daily interest with a call for serious lenders. It is the 8 immortals crossing the sea, each on their own wave to upgrade fast. Every trick comes out. I cannot afford to study the ants further. Ants can be studied anytime, but missing this temporary mission means missing the rewards forever. Even my well-stocked self drools at the package list. I yank up the manual and dive into the trade channel. The mission has world rewards and regional rewards. Top 10% globally is easy for me. I would have to be incompetent to miss it, since I already have abundant resources and items. And if I cannot make top 10%, I might as well find a block of tofu and slam my head against it. Top 100 regionally is the top 1% of 10,000. I am confident I make it, but my goal is not just to make it. The higher the regional rank, the better the skill, and I want first, or at least top 3 or top 5. I just hope no freaks live in my region. I open the trade channel and item listings, scroll past each tagged with owner, exchange terms, and a comment board. Wool sweater, no rank. Owner Jang Dapio, 50 wood or 10 stone. A bear with only 15 wood, begs for a discount and gets called poor. A haggler suggests Pinduo. Duo at 9 to 99. Jang Dapio tells him to order it on the dark world and see if the courier delivers. Sharp machete, black iron. Rank 60 wood plus 5 stone. The listings are varied, and most are price gauged on day 1, with everyone short, with sellers fighting hagglers in the comment, because the goods cost real labor. I get it, but at these prices, nothing will move. The market will self-correct. Soon enough the trade channel is too chaotic, and gives me a headache, but a filter exists. I filter for containers and pages of them appear, sorted only by listing order. No price sort, wooden bowl. No rank 300 milliliters. 1 wood small wooden wine glass. No rank 30 milliliters. 1 wood empty mineral water bottle. No rank 500 milliliters. 2 wood wooden bucket. No rank 2 liters. 5 wood or 1 stone a container is essential, because water sources mean nothing without something to carry it in. The big factor is capacity, and I look at capacity per cost. After 5 pages, almost nothing exceeds 1 liter, and even empty mineral water bottles are relatively spacious in this market. By scan, I work out that my buckets are worth around 15 wood by volume, but on day 1, nobody can afford 15. I want quick sales for upgrade points, so I listed a market-piercing 12 wood or 2 stone per bucket. Normally 1 stone mining tools are scarce, so stone goes for more, and I price the trade trap accordingly. I have 7 buckets and put them all up. I can craft more, no need to hold any back. I post on World Channel small wooden buckets, 10 liter capacity, 12 wood listed on Trade Channel Limited. First come first serve, the reactions are immediate. A 4 liter basin for 8 wood, what a rip-off compared to this. I have to stone, I cannot upgrade today anyway. Might as well get cheap goods. Boss Jian Kun is generous. Do not fight me. I will take them all and resell at a profit. You be scalping after transmigrating brothers rush. Do not let middlemen eat the margin. I am not surprised someone calls me by name. Chat speech displays real-life avatar and name. World Channel allows 3 messages per day, so I do not waste another. Within 10 seconds the 7 buckets are gone, and a stream of private orders comes in. Among them, someone named Shanghai asked to buy 5 buckets. After the temporary mission ends, I do not know why she would want so many, but a customer is a customer. I agree. Tally 7 buckets sold for 60 wood and for stone. Plus my 12 wood, I am now 28 wood and 16 stone short of the upgrade. Wood is manageable, the stone gap is the problem. Buckets are absurdly profitable. 3 wood was sold for 4 times the price, but 10 minutes of crafting per unit means I cannot brute force the gap. Looking at the popularity, I want to crank out 100 more on the spot, but every second matters in a regional race, and slow crafting will not win first place. Sacrifices have to be made, so I dropped that idea and start listing things to sell. Herring can sell listed 10 wood. After all, it is a specialty food. Normal food is common, but Oreo-flavored herring is rare, and rich tastes are weird. Disposable lighter keep cannot sell. The bitten baguette sell listed 3 wood. I can buy a fresh one later. Bronze axe keep to my surprise. The herring can, and the chewed baguette both sell within a minute. Even so, I am still 15 wood and 16 stone short. Sell the hunting ants. Black iron rank creatures should be worth something, but I have only 8, and there are still many open questions to study with them, so unless absolutely necessary, no wood I can chase stone. I cannot riding a bicycle to a bar. Save where you can, spend where you must. I turn to the most valuable thing I own. The mutated spring water reserve sits at 93.8 milliliters. The small ant trial used only 6.2 milliliters, because ants drink almost nothing. I cut 12 small wooden cups with grooves to hold liquid, using the bronze axe. Take out 60 milliliters of spring water, and divide it into 12 5 milliliter portions. I list them at 13 wood per portion or to stone, and post a second World Channel ad. Silver rank items discounted prices. Come and grab them quickly. The reactions ride between disbelief that I have a silver rank item, lament about the gap between people, and rapid buying. Since spring water is niche, and only specific needs match it, the trade trap pricing leans buyers towards stone sale. Successful to stone sale, successful to stone. In 2 minutes 8 portions are gone for 16 stone, exactly enough for the shelter upgrade. The pace then slows on the spring water, because curious onlookers are sated, and my World Channel ad is buried. I'm only 15 wood from upgrading, and about to cap exchanges at wood, when Xiang had DMS again, asking if I can lower the price to 40 wood for the 4 remaining portions. The same rich woman who pre-ordered 5 buckets is now buying out for silver rank portions, which strongly suggests she has already upgraded, and has wood to spare. We are not in the same region, and her offer matches my mental floor. I do not haggle, I take it. Sale successful, 40 wood. The moment the trade clears, I open the manual, hit upgrade. Survivor detected, meeting conditions. Consume 100 wood and 20 stone. Yes, shelter upgrading. Please wait. Shelter successfully upgraded to level 2 wooden house. Then the broadcast. Fire top 10% globally for upgrade speed. Resource gift package, choose between warmth, food or tool, and the second one sharper. Congratulations. You are the first survivor in this region to upgrade your shelter reward. Skill selection gift package. Gold rank. I do not relax until the broadcast confirms. First regionally, the cheap sell losses have been earned back with interest, and gold rank for first place is unexpectedly generous. The world rank package can wait. I open the skill selection card first. Palm size package. Inside is a card, entirely golden, with a question mark printed on its face. Skill selection card, gold rank. After use, randomly draws 3 gold rank skills, from which one can be chosen. So selection means a forced random 3. Almost a scam, but I have nowhere to complain or protest. A gold pick out of 3 is still strong. I tell myself to feel better and use it. The card rises into the air, spins for a few seconds, and splits into 3 golden cards, with different patterns etched on them. The system asks me to choose one, Elemental affinity water. Gold rank raises affinity with water elements by 100% and comprehensively enhances water. Base skill effects berserk gold rank on activation. Greatly raises attributes and significantly boosts recovery for 10 minutes. Then enters weakened state reusable after recovery. Species contract gold rank. Contracts a species and greatly enhances control over that species. These are hard-earned gold skills, so I read each carefully. Water affinity is dead in the water. Pun acknowledged without water-based skills. And I have only a sip of farmer's water. No telling when I would even pick up. Matching skills skip. Berserk is a clutch lifesaver and could counterkill a stronger enemy at a critical moment, but the weakened state duration is unspecified. A day or two of weakness in this dark world is a death sentence, and the risk is unacceptable. Species contract reads vague, but matches what I already have. The term control is vague, but the side effects look minimal and mutated. Spring water plus I have taming. Pushes the beast tanner path. I also have a nagging suspicion. In this dark world everyone gets various skills, resources and items like in a game, but unlike the games I played, there are no fixed professions or fixed skills, and what each of us picks up is random. This is a free world full of infinite possibilities, and everyone has to plan their own growth path. With limited resources, the worst sin is wanting everything. The three skills here clearly correspond to mage, warrior and beast tamer. My core resources are most suitable for beast tamer. My head start owes more to luck than skill, and competition is light, only because everyone is starting at zero. If I do not commit to a path now, and waste the head start, I will be passed quickly. I pick species contract and silently commit to beast tamer. The cards vanish, and the system asks for the contract subject. The only creature I obtained is the black side. Hunting ant, so I named it. Selected contracted species, and successfully established a species contract with the ant tribe group. The contracted species cannot be changed. Cannot be changed, the skill description never said that. Is this a scam? My dream was to be a dragon knight. What the hell are ants? I am on the verge of tears, feeling like the sky is falling. 3 minutes later, I sigh helplessly and accept reality. I only have ants right now anyway. Ants are cheap and easy to acquire, and pair beautifully with mutated spring water. And maybe one day they mutate into giant flying, fire-breathing ants. If I cannot be a dragon knight, ant knight will do. I look at the new skill. Species contract ants gold rank. Greatly enhances control over ant tribe creatures. Vague again, a gold skill cannot be too weak, right? I look at a hunting ant to test, and the readout expands far beyond before. Black side hunting ant black iron rank. Swift action with mandibles of powerful, destructive force potential. Silver rank type combat ability tenfold. Bite force current mutation evolution success rate 11%. Feeding flesh type material increases the rate. It is highly likely to evolve into a combat type, with a very small chance of mutating into other types. The skill is not raw combat power, but a cultivation map potential type current rate. The resource that boosts the rate. Without it, cultivating ants would be flailing in the dark. With it I cultivate efficiently and on purpose. Worth a slot. I open the resource gift package and consider the three options against current trade prices. Then choose warmth. The precautions mentioned a monthly natural disaster, and given the worsening cold, the first one is almost certainly extreme cold, and warm goods will price spike. Food and water can be bought from the trade channel. Inside is a cotton suit and a cotton quilt. Far more than I expected. I put on the suit and feel my hands and feet thaw. So warm I should sleep a little better tonight. I check the upgraded shelter. Level to wooden house upgrade requirements for level 3. 500 wood, 100 stone plus all facilities built. Floor area is now 20 square meters for times the hut, and the wooden walls feel sturdy enough not to vanish in a strong wind, greatly raising my sense of security. New buildable facilities unlock storage cabinet at 30. Wood can store food and slow spoilage. Wooden bed at 50. Wood made of solid wood improves rest efficiency. Dual-use stove at 30 stone. Dispels darkness from inside the shelter at night, and serves as a cook fire. All three are essential. Food is precious here, so a cabinet that slows spoilage is huge. Last night I slept on cold, hard ground and barely rested. A wooden bed will change everything. The dual-use stove dispels night darkness, and lets me cook hot food in this freezing weather. Double enjoyment for body and soul. The facility costs are modest, but the next shelter upgrade is brutal, and requires all facilities first. Weaker survivors without chests may not upgrade for 10 or 15 days, and even for me it is not easy. I have a craft skill to lean on though. After upgrading I still have wood, so I keep crafting buckets while reading the channel. People are envying the regional 5th place. Who got a silver skill? Salute to the big shot. I want skills to sigh. Should I go all in? Can I still make top 100 regionally? Hesitation breeds defeat. Just commit and get it over with. They are interesting people, and the chat is still half adrenaline and half bravado. As the temporary mission winds down, some are calculating whether they can sell the family silver for the last few units. Others are pivoting to chain craft items and selling them at thin margins. Scrape past the cutoff. A few are openly trash talking. Everyone who has not made the cut yet, the kind of bravado that masks panic, The skill selection rewards seem to weigh on everyone. The most silver in regional 5th means survivors above me may have rolled gold, and the prodigies in the global front may have rolled higher than that. I buy a rye bread for 5 wood and chew, while I work my hands keep shaping buckets, while my head plans next steps. Food first, my territory is barren, and only the trade channel feeds me, but cold will price spike or even strangle supply, which is deadly, so a stable food source is mandatory. Growth path next to scale and control. I need spiritual power items, otherwise even ants cap out, and variety also matters based on the black side trial. Different species probably mutate down different paths. Combat for some, construction for some, transport for others, so multiple species are required. Ants near my shelter are limited, so a buy task on the trade channel is the play. Plus watching for spiritual power skills. An hour later I have 6 more buckets beside me. The temporary mission winds down, and I scan the broader picture. Each region has 10,000 people. 8 billion total means over 800,000 regions, and the regional top 100 slots are all filled, while the global top 10% still has a few open spots. Of those who have not upgraded, very few will today. Less than a tenth of the world's transmigrants made the level to upgrade on day 1. Lucky people are a minority and my expression darkens. I keep crafting, the image stays with me. 8 billion souls dropped into 10,000 person cells, with thatched walls in a fire, told to survive, and on the very first night, the death counter is already in the hundreds of thousands. I'm sitting on 3 chests of luck. Nobody else opened and I cannot afford to coast on it. Buckets food source. Spiritual power and variety. Cold preparation, Parker cultivation. Every line item is real, and night is not long enough to address them all. My private message blinks opening. It is Junha again, asking whether I have any buckets for trade now. She buys steadily and finally pulls my attention. Her avatar is a young woman, with an oval face and a gentle smile. Dark world avatars cannot be photoshopped or beautified, so the face is real. And even I, who am usually face blind, have to admit she is beautiful. I do not have impure thoughts. I head straight to her wallet, and quietly decide to mark up. With that appearance and temperament, she has to be wealthy and high status, and not short on money. If she could read my mind right now, she would be speechless. I confirm I have buckets and ask how many. 5, she says, and asks if I still have mutated spring water for sale. I have 33.8 milliliters left from the original allocation, and the spring I produces another 100 milliliters daily that the ants barely touch. So yes, I tell her, I can sell 20 milliliters now, but I want better resources for it. She should have some. In a different corner of the dark world, a tree, thick enough that 10 people would need to encircle it, carries a small wooden house on its main trunk. Other survivors would gawk at the engineering. Shanghai is the owner and she frowns at my message. How did he know? Well, she did buy too many tools from him at the start of the temporary mission. At that point, only people with no hope of finishing, or with overflowing resources, could afford to spend wood on tools, and she is the second category. She's not against my pitch. With temporary missions ended, rare items return to their inherent value. She replies, no problem. Take a look at these multi-year winter wheat seeds. Black iron rank mutated variant, with 100 times the yield of regular winter wheat, and stronger cold resistance. Reaping potion. Bronze grade applied to plants accelerates growth. Lower quality plants benefit more. 2-color goji berry silver rank. Slightly enhances physique and increases resistance. My eyes light up. The seeds plus the potion solve my food problem outright. A plot of multi-year winter wheat means I never lose to food shortages. The goji berry is even better, since there are no hospitals here, and even a mild cold can be fatal. So, a permanent physique and resistance bump is invaluable. I keep my reply flat. Not bad. How do you want to trade? Xianhe knows exactly how heavy these items are at this stage of the world, and smiles at my poker face. She offers 100 multi-year winter wheat seeds, 3 bottles of reaping potion, 1 2-color goji berry, in exchange for 20 milliliters of mutated spring water, and 5 buckets. What do I think? I freeze for a moment, not because the price is low, but because it is high, far above expectations. By my own reckoning, 30 seeds plus 1 bottle of potion, plus the goji berry, would already have been a good trade. She is generous to the point of strange. I had intended to fleece her, and now I am almost embarrassed. That is the power of a rich woman, and I almost lose the will to grind. Willpower wins. I push back. That is too much. My goods are not worth that. She replies quietly, in items. The math is uneven, but she values my development potential. Long-term cooperation, then we are far apart, and she has no recourse if I take the trade and ghost her, so paying extra on a possibility is a confidence move. Sensing my pause, she adds, your regional rank in this temporary mission cannot be low. Your mutated spring water as a silver rank. Sustainable resource matters greatly to me. I am willing to take a certain risk. Cooperation is mutual and you also need things I have, and the dark world's danger far exceeds what either of us imagines. So partners survive better long term is the framing. She is right that the spring water is what really matters, and the cooperation framing follows. My own preference is to specialize in one path and concentrate resources in that direction. like classes in a game where combat, recon, support, and logistics combined outperform generalists. The risk is that specializing creates weaknesses, and entrusting safety to a stranger is a death sentence. This is not a game. I have only set my own career path. If her toolkit complements mine, long-term works, I ask. Cooperation needs mutual benefit. Do you have other advantages? Because once my food is self-sufficient, these go down in value. She is not annoyed and answers confidently. All her items, skills, and resources are plant-related, giving her a unique advantage in cultivating plants. The multi-year winter wheat is her own breed, with astonishing yield. As long as I keep trading her spring water, she keeps cultivating mutated plants, and she will give me first dibs. Without plant specialization, I would burn resources for poor results. Once I have used spring water myself, I know exactly what she means. That harmful mutations dominate beneficial ones. Cooperation is full win-win. So she is also a path-committed survivor just on plants. Smart people abound. I am not the only one to commit early, with her continually breeding mutated plants. For me, the partnership is real. I drop the hesitation and agree. Happy cooperation, happy cooperation. We complete the trade. Then I ask casually why she started buying for me at the start of the temporary mission, instead of selling for upgrade points. She replies, oh, that I had already upgraded my shelter to level 2 during the day, so the mission was completed instantly when it dropped due during the day. I freeze in place in a distant corner of the dark world. Xianghe chuckles softly, having anticipated exactly this reaction, and tells herself that showing a little strength helps cooperation. After the trade, I am near broke, so I keep crafting and selling buckets through the night. The night runs 16 hours and sleeping. All of it is wasteful. I plan 7 hours of sleep and the rest at the bench. Her offhand reveal sticks under my skin. I knew there would be freaks who upgraded fast, but daytime upgrade is on another level, and my imagination cannot reconstruct it. Even for me, felling a tree takes 8 minutes. Could she be a delicate-looking woman, who is actually a muscle-bound axe wielder? Lucky we are not in the same region. Otherwise, I would only be competing for second place. I sketch a figure with 2 axes and bulging muscles, tearing through trees, only for the face to turn around and be Xianghe. I shiver, snap out of the daze. Check the time and find that 8 unconscious hours have passed. What was I thinking? Xianghe's ability is plant-related, and that is how she upgraded so fast. The muscle scenario was a fatigue hallucination. I have been crafting too long. Mental and physical strength are at the limit. I push through the bucket I am working on, and stopped surveying the heap in the room. The 8 hours have been rough. My hands are stiff from repetition, and the bucket that took 10 minutes early on now takes 20 as my speed sags. I have made 39 buckets, including one left over from a trade, exactly 40. I keep 10 and sell the rest for 180 wood and 30 stone. Big shot. Now I look at the shelter facilities. Storage cabinet, wooden bed, dual-use stove, total only 80 wooden, 30 stone, and since they are inevitable, I build all 3 at once. Build facilities place where I want them, so the dual-use stove goes in the center, the wooden bed near it, and the storage cabinet, far from the heat to slow food spoilage. I throw the cotton quilt under the bed, the stove strong warmth, the soft warm quilt, the comfortable bed. My eyelids droop, but I push through to open the trade channel one more time, because the seeds I traded from Xianghe still need handling and it is not yet time to sleep. 10 minutes of browsing pulls up exactly what I want. 3-story nursery, black iron rank. 2 by 2 meters, 3-story planter. Increases plant growth speed by 10%. Owner Thompson, 60 wood. A growth speeding nursery is hard currency. The night is unknown ground, and I will not plant my food outside, so an indoor nursery is mandatory. 60 wood is steep, but after hours of bucketing, I can afford it. Hard-earned resources mean I will not pay sticker, and I haggle in the traditional way. The owner's name reads foreign, which would have killed my chances, if not for the manual's translation function. I offer 55 wood. Thompson swears to God it is worth it. Says it can grow delicious vegetables. I tell him post-mission, everyone burned wood on upgrades, and there are not many buyers. At 60 he concedes to 56 and refuses to go lower. I am in a hurry to plant and sleep, so I take it and place the nursery near the door. So, daytime sun reaches the soil through the open curtain. Each layer is 2 by 2 meters, with a soil tray and half a meter of headroom. No tall plants, but for me it is enough. I sow the 100 multi-year winter wheat seeds. Evenly drip reaping potion on each perchin. House instructions, and 1 bottle of potion is used. Up exactly I water with 3 wood worth of river water. The seeds sprout out of the soil within a minute. The effect is so brutally fast it is unscientific. At this rate harvest is days away. And clearly the dark world is past science, with its supernatural items and scrolls. I order the 8 hunting ants onto the nursery, to loosen soil without harming the seedlings. Throw firewood into the stove, drop into the bed, wrap up in the cotton quilt, and go out cold. The voice wakes me. Dark world announcement. Congratulations, survivors. You have successfully survived another night. A natural disaster warning will be issued. I rub my eyes and slowly come up out of the dream. The panel reads daytime remaining 7 hours, 29 minutes 12 seconds. I jolt. Did I oversleep? Did I waste half an hour of daytime? Then I check the chat and realize I did not oversleep. Daytime has been reduced from 8 hours to 7.5. Daytime is shorter. Before I can react, the announcement continues. This natural disaster cold wave. In 7 days, an extremely low temperature cold wave will bring extreme cold to the entire dark continent. Please collect winter food as soon as possible and strive to survive the natural disaster. I am wide awake. Cold wave. The first natural disaster is exactly what the worsening temperature implied, and most survivors expected. Something like it. What no one expected is 7 days. Once the wave hits and the outdoor temperature crash, exploration becomes impossible, which means within those 7 days, I need a month of food, a month of firewood, and warm gear adequate for extreme cold, all stockpiled inside the shelter. Even at my tire, the pressure is real and the urgency is sharp, let alone for survivors still in level 1 huts. Most are dirt poor with dilapidated thatch walls. I had thought the dark world was not that dangerous. Clearly I was wrong. I opened the region channel. Counter reads 9,531 day 2. The wave has not even started, and that many are already gone. Every digit is a life. The chat is whales. Cold wave in 7 days for a whole month. Just kill me now, hungry already. I have not figured out today's food, let alone a month's stockpile. Maybe the wave has stages and we can still go out early on. Do not be too nervous, everyone. The cold wave should taper, instead of crashing in at full force on day 1. Within these 7 days, we have to upgrade to level 2 or even level 3, or food alone will not save us. Yes, no time to argue. I am chopping. I just got a bronze axe yesterday, and the sapling pile is finally moving. Selling river water in bulk, 3 wood per liter, deliver via trade channel. Selling raw flint, 10 wood apiece. Last batch before prices spike. Selling cotton scraps for makeshift insulation, 2 wood per bundle, only 10 bundles total. I close the channel before the noise can drag me into other people's panic. I open the trade channel and list 1 milliliter of mutated spring water at 10,000 wood, not to sell it, just to stick a billboard on top of a high traffic listing with a note attached. Buying large quantities of various ant species must include a queen. Ant can trade in resources or items. Without a queen, the ant project cannot scale. I DM Chong, asking her to help look for ants nearby. As a plant specialist, she works the soil constantly and might bump into a colony. Then I prepared to head out. Past the nursery, I checked the wheat. Already heading a few more hours and it is ripe. My thinking was too narrow. In the dark world, anything is possible. After warm-up, one take a few hunting ants and step outside. It is bright, only a couple more degrees colder than yesterday. No other obvious changes. I set the hunting ants down and order them to find their queen and bring her back. Hunting ants evolve from black-side ants and can read black-side pheromones, so they have a real chance of locating the queen. Then I decide to spend half an hour exploring. A chest is huge profit if I find one, and even without one it is recon. After which I go chop trees. I head east opposite yesterday's direction. 10 minutes in I stop frowning. I should have hit the dark border by now, and there is still bright forest ahead. I have a guest did level to expand my territory. The channel says nothing about it. I DM Changha, who has already replied agreeing to help find ants, and I ask, she replies. After level 2, the territory expands from 300 meters to 500, and mutated beasts now appear around the territory, and are very hard to deal with, without strong combat means. Do not explore yet, I thank her. I look at the new ground chests are likely inside it, but mutated beasts are also very real, and even ordinary beasts would beat me right now. A moment of patience opens a wider path. I will collect resources today, evolve a few hunting ants to silver, then come back. I retreat to the birch grove. After yesterday's work, most of the small saplings are gone, leaving thicker trees that take more effort, but yield more wood with the bronze axe. It is manageable. I swing. 2 hours later, a wood pile sits beside me. As I plan to stop and start crafting buckets, I signal pings through the contract and I turn. The lead hunting ant is carrying a fat-abdominated ant, and the other 7 herd over 100 black scythe ants, like officers escorting prisoners, all marching toward me. I beam with joy. The hunting ants have wiped out the nest. They brought the queen. The number of hunting ants problem is gone. I drop the axe and run over without preamble. Purple flickers in my left eye, and I have taming hits the queen. Black scythe ant queen. No rank potential, silver rank type. Reproductive current mutation evolution success rate. 48% feeding flesh type materials raises the rate. Highly likely to evolve into a reproductive type, with a small chance of mutating into other types. The moment I tame the queen, the hundreds of black scythe ants behind her stop their commotion and stand obediently in place. The realization lands fast. The queen is the leader of the colony, and taming her means controlling the entire colony. Great. This dramatically reduces my spiritual power burden. Do not underestimate it. A single ant takes little spiritual power but its skill, and after evolution the cost compounds. If controlling only the queen runs the colony, I can effortlessly manage millions of ants. The image lights me up, and my gaze on the queen gets fervent. She is too critical to allow any damage, and 48% is decent but far from safe enough. Fortunately, with species contract, I have a stable way to push the rate up. I dump the 41 units of wood from the morning chop to one side and decide to prioritize the queen's mutation rate, because the sooner she mutates, the sooner she breeds hunting ants, and the sooner the army exists. I open the trade channel and filter for flesh. Daytime exploration, few hunters. Yet there are only a dozen pages. I skip on ranked flesh entirely and focus on black iron and above. Excluding price gougers, a few candidates remain and one comes out on top. Mutated rabbit meat, black iron. Rank owner will porter 20 wood per gin. Half a kilo mutated wild boar meat. Bronze grade, same owner. 40 wood per gin, same person selling both at scale, which means combat power and intel. I want plus a price negotiable. Bulk volume, counting the freshly chopped for 1. I have 98 wood total, enough. I DM Will. I will take the 1 gin of mutated rabbit meat and the 1 gin of mutated wild boar meat. You've listed, can the price be a bit lower? He takes 5 minutes to reply. Will. If you have looked at the trade channel, you know the price is already very favorable. Yes. But few people can afford meat right now, and your listing has been up a while. I have a long-term demand for high-quality flesh, and we could establish long-term cooperation. In a distant corner of the dark world, a nearly 2 meters tall white man, shirtless, props a blood-dripping long-handled axe on the ground, and frowns at his manual after thinking for a while. He writes back, I am somewhat interested in long-term cooperation. Since you can afford this much meat now, you must be a strong individual. I cannot lower the price further, but I can give you a small gift. He sends item info: mutated rabbit blood, black iron rank, and mutated wild boar blood. Bronze grade. Beast blood also raises mutation success rate. Effectively a discount, so I reply, okay, deal. We trade 60 wood for 1 gin of each meat, plus the 2 bottles of blood. After the trade, I ask another question. Will, since you can hunt this many mutated beasts, you must know about them. Could you tell me a bit? I am ready to pay for the info, since mutated beast intel matters to me. Will is generous and replies almost instantly, of course, no problem. I had hunted plenty of beasts, even before coming to the Dark Continent. Mutated beasts here, compared to Blue Star beasts, have not only grown significantly larger, but also become more violent and savage in nature. And their appearance has changed too. The mutated rabbit is 80 centimeters long, and has grown a pair of sharp fangs. The moment it saw me, instead of running, it charged at me with bloodshot eyes. Jang Hyan, if you are not good at fighting, do not provoke them. They have already surpassed the scope of ordinary beasts, with Chang He's earlier warning still ringing. My caution doubles, I thank Will. Mutated beasts have territory, and generally do not wander, so as long as I do not approach the new ground, there should be no danger. For now I put down the manual, and take out the mutated rabbit meat, and mutated wild boar meat. Both are bright red marbled, fresh with rich blood smell. 2 days in this world feel like a month without meat, and my mouth waters at the thought of roasting them. On the stove I push the craving down, and order the queen to eat the rabbit meat first. She crawls over, opens her scythe-like mandibles, and devours it ravenously. Her rate ticks from 48 to 49 and keeps climbing. Black iron flesh on a no-rank queen is a serious tonic, if black iron pushes this fast. What about bronze? Will bronze meat instantly hit 100%? I switch her to the mutated wild boar meat, without hesitation, and the rate climbs faster, hitting 65% in minutes and stalls. For an ordinary ant, 65 would be fantastic, but for a queen with no second chance, only 100 is truly safe. And I look at her. Her bulging abdomen is now several times bigger, and she is lying beside the boar meat, too full to move. She just ate too much. Scared me for a moment. I laugh self-deprecatingly and order her to digest, then keep eating, then go back to shopping nearby. Half an hour later I check on her again. Her rate is at 100%. That was fast. I bring her to the mutated spring water, and let her drink. Her body is several times bigger than a regular black Scythe ant, and one gulp takes a full milliliter before she stops. Under my nervous gaze, her body expands rapidly and the mutation finishes. Black Scythe hunter ant queen. Black iron rank potential. Silver rank type reproductive ability. Rapid reproduction. Current mutation evolution success rate 11% with the same flesh feeding, scaling and likely outcomes as before. Quality jumps from no rank to black iron, and she gains rapid reproduction. More importantly, she now breeds black iron, black scythe hunting ants directly, which means I never need to spend more spring water on individual hunter cultivation. As long as I keep her fed, the hunting ants already have combat power. Numbers were the bottleneck, and that is solved. Once their numbers grow, hunting mutated beasts goes on the table. The ant army I have been imagining starts to look real, but the queen cannot do it alone. I gather the 8 existing hunting ants, drop 2 pieces of mutated beasts nearby, let them eat alongside the queen, to raise their own mutation rate, and pair them with her for breeding. Watching her bulging belly, I laugh. You with food, drink, and a harem, you live more comfortably than I do. You must cultivate me a good army. I leave them to it. Take the bronze axe and head out again. As soon as I reach the birch grove, a private message comes in. I open it. It is Changha again. Jang Hyan, I found a type of ant. See if it is useful to you. Without waiting for my reply, Changha sends over the ant's information. Century ant queen. Swift in movement and skilled in reconnaissance. The queen of a recon-type colony is exactly the missing link. My plan needed meat-eaters under the Black Scythe, hunter and queen for combat, plant-eaters under a sentry and queen for scouting, and one shared ant nest for them to live together with. The nucleus, once I find one, I beam. I just got a Black Scythe and queen. And now this double happiness. I tell her it is incredibly useful, and ask what resources I can exchange. She replies that she found the queen, while loosening soil for her plants, and it took no effort free for me. We are allies. I push back. I cannot accept that even if it is small to her. It is huge to me. Shiona then asks if I would keep an eye out for plant seeds, and says she has to get back to work and will chat. Tonight she trades me a wooden bottle. Inside is the sentry ant queen, plus more than 20 sentry ants, 3 pairs of compound eyes, each long antennae and dark green helmet-shaped heads, all peeking around like tiny sentries. On watch, this ally is too reliable. I owe her a real favor now. Seeds. I will look. Purple flickers in my left eye, and the queen falls under my control. Without resistance, sentry ant queen. No grade potential, bronze grade type. Reproductive current mutation evolution. Success rate 67%. Feeding plant-based materials raises the rate. Highly likely to evolve. Reproductive type with a small chance. Otherwise. Species contract gives me readings June Hack cannot see. Bronze potential is a lower ceiling than the black side. Hunter ant queen silver, which is mildly disappointing. Different species, different growth potentials. But the sentry ant feeds on plants, and the rate is already at 67, so the food path is far cheaper, compared to the black side. Hunting ant which eats meat. This is brutally cost effective, and these are scouts, which for me may be more useful than combat ants. The sentry ant queen with her 4 eyes, antennae and round belly, looks at me and I nod satisfied. Play it matter from any old grass works. Growth rate caps if the plants are ordinary. For that I need the plant expert. I shamelessly DM Shanghai again, asking if she has high quality plant materials that are plentiful and filling. She is busy and replies in 3 minutes, asking what kind food or otherwise any plant. I tell her wood or leaves does not have to be food. She says how about this sandal wood? What hung wood, bronze grade. I knew I asked the right person. I tell her this is great and ask how she wants to trade. And please do not give it for free again. Otherwise next time I will be too embarrassed to ask. She smiles to herself. Small things reveal character. And although I have what she needs, if I were too greedy, she would only do limited cooperation, only with acceptable character. Does she treat me as a long-term ally? She replies fairly, although bronze grade. It is still wood with limited uses, so 1 unit of sandal wood. What hung for 5 units of regular wood? I take it without haggling. I place the wood beside the new sentry ant queen, antenna for sentry ants, and they start knowing the rate climbs fast. 5 minutes later, all 11 hit 100% and I bring them to the spring water. The sentry ant queen mutates faster than the black cyan ant queen. 1 minute and she is done. The 10 ordinary sentry ants finish even quicker. Sentry ant queen black iron rank. Potential bronze grade type. Reproductive ability rapid reproduction. Current mutation evolution success rate 10%. Plant materials raise the rate. Likely reproductive evolution. Sentry ant black iron rank. Potential bronze grade type. Reconnaissance ability basic agility. Current mutation evolution success rate 10%. Plant materials raise the rate. Likely reconnaissance evolution. Unlike the black scythe ants, who jump dozens of times in size, the sentry ant queen only got a few sizes bigger, and the workers are unchanged. The queen has rapid reproduction like the other queen, and the workers picked up basic agility, compared to tenfold bite force. Basic agility sounds boring until I let one move. It crosses the shelter in seconds, faster than I can walk for that body size. The speed is incredible if basic is this fast. What about intermediate or advanced? With this speed plus reconnaissance, my recon efficiency multiplies several times. Once numbers grow, and I can stay home while ants scout the perimeter. I treat the sentry ant queen and her harem the way I did the hunting ants. Drop the sandalwood beside them, and let them feed and breed simultaneously. After the sentry ants are settled, I decided to take another stroll for chest. Within 300 meters, the 300 to 500 ring stays off limits, per Wheels and Shauna's warnings. Half an hour later I have nothing. Either I pick the area clean already, or luck is dry today. As I reach the easternmost 300 mark, and prepare to turn back, I freeze. A small tree under 2 meters tall stands ahead, hung with a dozen fist-sized red fruits, lush and tempting. Beneath it sits a wooden treasure chest. The catch-it is roughly 360 meters from the shelter, in the mutated beast band. Charge or cower, my mind locks into the kind of standoff between heaven and man. A cold gust slices my cheeks. So cold I've been cycling between ant work and shopping in a padded jacket, and barely felt the chill. But the moment I stop, the cold lands hard and the panel is already below 0. Yesterday it was 5 degrees. The wind clears my head. Less than 7 days to the cold wave, and food and warm gear are nowhere near enough. Hesitation will erode the day 1 led decision. Do it 60 meters there and back, plus picking in chest 3 minutes total. I do not rush in. I find a tall tree with good visibility and climb. From the high vantage, I skin the area for 10 minutes. Will describe mutated beasts as large in a small area. Cannot hide when I see nothing. Big sigh in relief, climb down. Pick up the bronze axe and step into the unknown ground. Per the consensus on the channel, within 300 meters resources are basic, wood and stone, water if lucky. And beyond it resources are richer, with naturally growing black iron and bronze items. But the danger climbed sharply. First time inside, a lie to say I am not nervous. 60 meters takes nearly 2 minutes. No incident, I reach the small tree and start picking, stuffing 6 red fruits into my unbuttoned collar. Before my clothes bulge to capacity, I do not push, the tree is not running away. Right hand still gripping the axe. I scoop the wooden chest with my left arm and turn to run. The closer I get to the 300 line, the more I relax, already daydreaming about what is in the chest. Then a sound like wind through grass behind me. Wind on a still evening that has no breeze. And yet I do not feel any wind hitting my body. The dissonance lands a beat after my ears do, and reflexes catch up. I drop the chest, swing the axe up to block and pivot. A dark shape leaps at me. I block on reflex with both hands. A bang force surges up the haft, and I retreat 5 steps before steadying. The attacker bounces back to squirrel, but standing 50 centimeters tall on its hind legs, bearing sharp fangs, red eyes blazing with bloodlust. Completely unlike the timid creatures I know. Mutated squirrel, black iron, rank ability junior. Concealment raises the success rate of hiding items and tracks. So this is a mutated beast. Exactly Will's description. Despite my caution, a concealment using squirrel slipped past my skin from a tree or burrow. I cannot outrun it on this terrain. And the safe zone label is just a name I made up. Only an idiot trusts it. Fortunately, it is just a squirrel and I have a weapon. The mutated squirrel pounces again, instantly without giving me time to prepare. I count 3, 2, 1, now estimating its run and leap arc. And at the apex of its leap, I bring the axe down, with both hands across its head and neck, pressing the blade, as if I am driving it into the ground. It cannot redirect midair, and watches the blade close on it. In the same instant, with no path to dodge, it lashed out with its claws, and rips 2 long gashes through my chest, tearing the cotton padding open. The blade lands, the squirrel crashes and rolls. Wounded but not dead, I do not let myself think. Step in and chop again. Blood splatters and it goes still. I gasp, breathing hard. Heart pounding, adrenaline masked it. But as soon as the fight ends, a wave of fatigue hits my whole body. Sore as if beaten, first life or death fight. Intense physical reaction makes sense, but I cannot stay. The blood smell may pull more dangerous creatures. I lift the squirrel onto the chest, tuck both under my arm, and stumble back toward the shelter. Only when I see the walls do I exhale, and the harvest in my collar finally puts a smile on my face. I close the door, sit on the floor, and sort mutated squirrel. Ordinary squirrels weigh under a pound. This one is at least 6 pounds after basic processing. Internal organs and bones removed. I get 3 gene of meat, 1 squirrel hide, and 200 milliliters of blood. At market rate, 80 units of wood in a few minutes of fighting. Hunting mutated beasts pays far better than chopping, but I push the get-rich daydream off. The danger is on another level, and a clean fight today does not generalize. Mutated creatures may carry pathogens. Even a small wound at a vulnerable spot, like the neck, could kill the squirrel. Meat goes on the menu tonight. The blood goes to the hunting ants as a bonus, and the hide gets repurposed as a scarf or gloves. Then I open the chest, rye bread, buckwheat pillow, and a third item. Another manufacturing blueprint. I never expected a black iron chest to drop. A blueprint and rye bread, plus a buckwheat pillow already had me content. The third item is a familiar cowhide scroll, and I recognize it instantly. Wooden fence, black iron rank. Pointed top wooden fence. May catch the careless climber by the crotch, and closes a shelter, to reduce the probability of dark world creatures. Visiting manufacturing cost. 1 unit of wood per piece. 3 minutes per piece. Excellent shelter. Safety is hard currency, and the raw material is the most plentiful one. Buckets are good now, but everyone will have buckets soon. And within a day or two the price performance crash. Rare resources I cannot spare for trade. I was wondering how to keep earning, and the system answered. I use the blueprint on the spot. I do not start crafting fences yet. I lay out the 6 red fruits on the floor. Red heart fruit, bronze grade, can be used to increase physique and quickly recover from muscle damage. Bronze grade, with permanent physique buff and muscle repair. The fruits are heart-shaped, hence the name. Right after a day of chopping in a life or death fight, my muscles are aching everywhere, and the timing could not be better. I wipe one on my sleeve and bite. The juice is sweet and rich, and the body finishes the fruit before the mind can savor it. Only 3 melon seed-sized seeds remain as expected. Of bronze grade, taste alone is past every fruit I have ever eaten. Then a warm current spreads through my body, and the soreness fades within 10 minutes. I feel fully recovered. Muscle fibers thicker than before. I want a second fruit immediately, and force myself to stop. The fruit's ideal usage is post-strenuous exertion, when fibers are torn with only 6 on hand. Casual eating is wasteful. I wonder if Chiang Ha can cultivate them in bulk. If so, red heart fruit freedom may be on the table. After that fruit, I almost feel anticipation about this dark world. Dangerous, yes, but full of possibilities. I DM Changhao the fruit's information and ask if she can cultivate it. She replies almost instantly excited. Bronze grade fruit physique plus quick recovery. She can cultivate, but the higher the rarity, the lower the cultivation success rate. So she will need more seeds and ideally, a branch from the mother tree. She is a true plant fanatic. No wonder she committed to that path. I tell her I found this in the newly unlocked area, that there is one tree with over 10 fruits left, and that I encountered a mutated squirrel earlier, and bled around there, so I cannot return today. She is alarmed I fought a mutated creature. Am I injured? Treated now. If so, lucky. No injury, I tell her. Good, she says. The dark world is harsh, and she does not have healing plants yet. By the way, squirrels are hoarding experts. The den must have a stash of food. Scout it when safe. I was so focused on running I forgot squirrel habits. Without her reminder I would have missed it. I thank her and ask her to try the cultivation. I trade 3 red heart fruit seeds and 1 fruit to her, refusing the resources she offers. In return, she gave me century ants for free, and this evens it out. On her side, Chiongha looks at the heart-shaped fruit and shakes her head with a wry smile. Decide she should pay attention to ant-related items now, or she will keep owing favors. And noting she should ask by Kyun, who likely has relevant intel after the conversation. 3.5 hours of daytime remain. The new ground is tempting, but the mutated squirrel was an early warning. Meeting a carnivorous, mutated beast at my current strength means dinner. For it I switch defenses. I make one and use its size to estimate. Enclosing a decent area takes at least 100 fences, plus 5 hours of crafting time, which is too steep. I scale to 30 or 40 fences for a smaller perimeter. Finishable before dark. I have 38 wood on hand. Enough. I head to the wood pile by the birch grove and start crafting in place. 2 hours later, after the red heart fruits repair work, I am full of energy and craft non-stop. A pile of fences accumulates. I stand back satisfied, then carry several to the shelter, and use the bronze axe as both shovel and hammer to drive them into the frozen ground. The ground is rock hard from the cold, and installation each real effort. By the time the fences are all in, the sky has gone fully dark. 31 minutes of daytime left. Outdoor temperature is -10, and standing still after sweat builds is painfully cold. I duck inside. The night is bearing down and I have used up my energy. The stove kindling has burned out, and as I reach for fresh wood, I realize I used every unit on the fences. Rather than panicking out into the cold, I decompose the black iron chest from earlier, and get 5 units of wood. The storage box is fine. Anything more would crowd. I throw one in the stove, light it and start crafting more fences. I tentatively list a single fence on the trade channel, at 5 units of wood per piece net. For wood in 3 minutes is far better than buckets, which are now 10 wood per piece for 10 minutes of work. I make 2 more fences, but the listing is not sold. Too high or fewer eyes on the channel right now. I drop to 4 wood per piece and the fence sells fast, with messages flooding asking if I have more. I tell everyone to wait and continue crafting. For wood per fence, net of 1 wood cost equals 1 wood per minute. Much better than chopping directly. Night closes. Weather. Strong winds, cloudy. Outdoor -14.1 degrees. Indoor 8.1 degrees. Night remaining 16 hours 30 minutes. Outdoor temperature has dropped several more degrees, and the indoor temperature, even with the upgrade in the stove, has not crossed 10 degrees. A few more days and indoors may slip below 0. Cold wave has not even started, and the slope is this steep. I have to push level 3 urgently, or the cold wave will end me. I had planned to spend resources on combat first, but priorities flip as I reach to keep crafting. I noticed no world announcement today. The voice has been the rhythm marker of every day since I arrived, and the silence on day 2 is unsettling in its own right. Without settlement and without temporary missions, the system has shifted from carrot-driven to pure survival pressure. Sure enough, the chat is already buzzing about it. What's going on? Where is settlement? I worked all day. Why no rewards? Maybe settlement and temporary missions only happen on day 1. Holy crap, without those on chopping and digging alone. We are doomed during the cold wave. Not entirely. You can find chests. A few a day means a comfortable cold wave. If chests were that easy, nobody would chop trees. Chests are hard hunt mutated beasts. Meat is high cost performance. I do not believe you, you old geezer. You are too cunning. If I had not seen a mutated goat snap a tree, I would have believed it. So no settlement today. Even without it, the day 1 rewards motivated everyone hard, and most people probably hit level 2 today. I close the channel. I check on the queens. The Black Safe Hunter Ant Queen is at 51%, and the Century Ant Queen has rocketed to 76%. Both were on bronze grade food. So why the gap? Growth speed likely correlates inversely with potential. Ceiling: the Century Ant has only bronze potential. A lower ceiling, so it climbs faster. The Black Safe Hunter Ant Queen has silver potential. A higher ceiling and climbs slower. -1 and a 2 hours of night ahead means both can finish tonight. At this rate, given enough food. I have plenty of bronze boar meat and sandalwood wood, so I let them eat and tell them to hurry. They eat faster than the nursery. The multi-year winter wheat is so dense. The ears press against each other. What I planted with a wide gap has filled the trays. 10 kilograms looks plausible from 100 seeds, and harvest is hours away. The ripening agent is unreasonably potent. Cheong's plant work is something else. Food worrying is dimming a little. As I plan to ask her for more seeds, she pings first Jang Hyan. Your ability is ant-related, right? Look at this item info attached. I skin and my pupils dilate. Ant nest nucleus, ant nest nucleus. Bronze grade placed in the ant nest. Raises the queen's breeding speed by 20% and increases food consumption by 30%. Ants in the nest gradually gain various attribute increases. Bronze in name divine artifact. In effect, the description hides the upside. This is exactly the kind of niche item that becomes overpowered in the right hands and worthless in the wrong ones, which is why it ended up at the bottom of someone's chest in the first place. 20% breeding speed alone is impressive enough. Extra ants per night with no extra resource per ant, but stacked with rapid reproduction and production expansion when the queens hit bronze. The math compounds. The 30% food consumption looked at first glance like a tax, but mutation success rate is fed by food consumption, so a 30% food increase becomes a 30% mutation acceleration even. The slow attribute buff is the kind of thing that quietly raises a colony. Over days, half the items I rejected in the trade channel had narrower descriptions than this, and 10 times the asking price. 20% breeding speed compounds horribly in my favor. Since ants win on numbers, the 30% food consumption looks like a downside, but for me it is upside. Eating drives mutation rate. More food means faster mutation. The slow attribute buff is a bonus. I cannot keep my poker face and tell Shangha. This is very useful, and offer to trade more spring water as compensation, since after a day, I have another 100 milliliters accumulated, and do not need it all. She replies that it is fine. She traded for it from an acquaintance, who said ants were too weak and nobody used them, so the item had been bottom of the box and went cheap. She offers to introduce us if there is a chance. A bit erratic but trustworthy. Hearing ants are looked down upon. I do not know whether to laugh or cry. It tracks even I, with all the relevant skills and items, have not produced anything visible from ants yet, and the consumption has been heavy. People without those skill items would be madmen to invest in ants. Better that everyone underestimates them. Cheaper to scoop up ant-related items at low cost. Sensing my silence, Shongha gently encourages me. The dark world holds infinite possibilities. Focus resources on one path and persevere. No matter the path it works. I tell her I am not giving up. I have a premonition that an explosion of strength is near. I thank her and start the trade. I put up 50 milliliters of mutated spring water and receive the ant nest nucleus, 100 multi-year winter wheat seeds, and 3 bottles of ripening agent. She protests I am giving too much, but I insist. Tomorrow during the day I will try the squirrel in the red heart fruit tree. I will contact her after I have plant seeds done. She says and she will keep an eye out for ant items. The trade leaves both of us better off. She gets a reliable spring water pipeline for her plant work. I get a reliable food and seed pipeline, plus a niche item scout, and the favors balance over time. Cooperation in this dark world is hard to start, because no party has reached to enforce a deal, so each transaction also doubles as a character probe. After 2 days of trades, my read on her is steady. Her read on me, judging by her continued generosity, is also steady. I look at the nucleus. Black peach pit size, rough surface, irregular. The description says place in an ant nest, so the question is where to build the nest. Underground is logical, but outside is monster country. Inside the shelter with fences up is safer. I pick a spot near the spring water source, tell the hunting ants and sentry ants to stop eating, and dig a nest. Sentry ants for speed, hunting ants for power. Under 10 minutes. A decent ant nest is dug. Better still, since both species are tamed by me. They share a single nest, which never happens in nature. Both groups benefit from the nucleus simultaneously. I drop the nucleus in and have everyone move in. Eating speeds visibly increase, and so do mutation rates. The sentry ant queen, already high, looks like she will finish in minutes. I hold off on letting the queens breed yet, because babies inherit queen quality, and if she breeds at black iron, the new ants are black iron, and upgrading them later costs heavy resources and precious spring water. Push the queen to bronze first, then her babies are bronze. The sentry ant ceiling is bronze, so once she hits bronze she breeds at full power. The black side hunter ant queen needs more thought. If her rate climb stalls badly after bronze, an early breeding wave might be necessary, since the sentry ants are scouts, not soldiers. And after the mutated squirrel, I want some bodyguards. I signal pings through the species contract. The sentry ant queen and her 10 harem ants all hit 100% simultaneously. I send them to drink spring water. Bronze evolution looks harder than black iron. 5-10 minutes but no fatalities. Sentry ant queen, bronze grade type, breeding potential. Bronze grade reached its limit. Can be broken with special items or skills abilities. Rapid reproduction, production expansion. Sentry ant, bronze grade type, reconnaissance potential. Bronze grade reached its limit. Can be broken with special items or skills abilities. Basic agility beginner detection. The queen's abdomen has grown. 3 pairs of compound eyes have become 4. The helmet is darker and shinier. Antennae longer. The workers are pinky finger size now. Neat little soldiers. Production expansion increases breeding quantity. Stacking with rapid reproduction. The army builds fast. Beginner detection on the workers. Given how strong basic agility was, even beginner detection should be serious. 1 century ants increase. Every chest in my territory gets swept clean. I order the queen and her harem into the nest to breed, right as I settle them. The black soif hunting ant signal pings. The hunter ant queen is also at 100%. Let us go. The black soif hunter ant queen and her 8 hunting ants drink spring water and replicate the century ant's route, but their evolution takes a full 10 minutes. For the larger bodies, when they emerge into bronze grade, I am stunned. The thumb-sized hunting ants have grown more than 10 times. Fist-sized, jet black carapace looking ridiculously sturdy, mandibles longer than their bodies. Like to massive size, one bite would unsettle a leg. And I am glad they are mine. The queen's body and abdomen grew several sizes, and her mandibles are smaller than the workers. The hunter ant queen also picked up production expansion. The workers picked up junior fortification. I tap a hunting ant's shell like metal. I step on it lightly. No reaction. Defensive output, combined with the scythe attacks at scale. Mutated beasts will not survive. Excited, I have the queen finish the rest of the boar meat. To push towards silver, she inhales it. 3 tails gone in a few bites, and I check the rate. Plus 1%. 3 tails of bronze meat is worth roughly 12 units of wood, which means raising her 100% on bronze meat alone would cost 12 units of wood. The bronze to silver gap is brutal. Bitter smile. Fine. Take it slow. Bronze hunting ants are already enough. Build a bronze hunting ant army first. Push queen to silver. Later I send her into the nest to breed too. They expand it before starting, because the original is too small. Now logistics. Century ants eat plants. Even wood, so the supply line is essentially the same as my fuel pile. Hunting ants eat meat, and I do not have much. Meat is also expensive on the channel, and unreliable in supply, since most survivors do not have the strength to hunt mutated beasts, and the few who do will list small portions. I throw the mutated squirrel meat I had set aside for myself into the ant nest for the hunter queen, and dinner becomes the rye bread from the chest. Choked down with water. Bear with it for now. Once the hunting ant army actually exists at scale, meat will be at every meal of every day. Through the nest entrance, I see plump white eggs already, which lifts the mood, but the food beside the queens is dropping fast. If food runs out, no more eggs. I take out wood and grind on fences. 7 hours later I am collapsed, spread eagled on the bed. My physical limit hit. Hours back, a red heart fruit reset my muscles and I kept going. But spiritual power has no fruit fix, and that depletion hurts worse than soreness. Several times worse. I need items that restore spiritual power. In 7 hours I made 130 fences. Only 10 short of theoretical maximum. Fences are popular and all sold at 4 wood each. Netting 3 wood per fence on top of the one would cost 390 units of wood total. The nest's food is almost gone. IDM, will you still have meat? In a corner of the dark world, in a wooden house adorned with hides, a burly 2 meters white man with long, golden hair and a bushy beard is tanning leather. He frowns at the manual, buzz finish the step, wipes his hands and reads customer who buys meat. Anyone who keeps buying meat at this stage must be strong. He likes both strong people and customers. Will, of course. How much I had thought he was asleep, and was about to look elsewhere. 5 jin of bronze grade. Can you discount 5 jin in one go? Most people buy in tails, so Will smiles and offers 5 jina, bronze grade for 190 wood, with 5 bottles of beast blood as a gift done. After the trade, Will pulls his manual back open and DMs someone else. Ryongu, I just traded another 190 wood. With that you should have enough to upgrade level 3. So Will is also networked, also moving wood toward an ally, pushing for the next shelter tier. I do not see this. If I did, I would be shaken. Someone is already stacking for level 3. In a tight alliance I am barely thinking. I throw the 5 gene into the nest, drop the sandalwood wood into and crash. Some unknown time later the broadcast cuts in. Dark World announcement. Congratulations survivors. You have survived another night. The cold wave will arrive in 6 days. A temporary mission will now be issued. Temporary mission again. I sit up and the broadcast continues. 3 temporary chests will be randomly generated in the bright areas of every survivor's shelter. Picking and opening grants items. Once 5,000 chests are opened in an area, all remaining temporary chests vanish. Top 100 regional rankings by quantity and speed. Earn 1 self-selected item of varying quality. Scaling on rank. I crunch numbers. 10,000 per region. 3 chests per shelter means 30,000 chests total. Capped at 5,000 cleared, so on average, less than 1 chest per person. The higher the shelter level, the larger the bright area and the harder to find. Randomly placed chests and level 2 and above have mutated beasts that further raise difficulty and risk. Survivors still on level 1 may actually have an edge. Check goes feral finally. Top 100 this time. No way, I just upgraded last night. Are you messing with me? Do not panic. Day 3, almost everyone has upgraded. If only I had not lacked resources. Top 100 would be mine. These chests are not easy to find. Learn from the past few days. Mutated beasts are dangerous. Many will die in this mission. Just chop trees and let me take the rewards. A shameless charge. Brothers still in the channel. More than I thought. And 1,000 or 800 of them in any region adds up. Speed matters. I do not panic. I have specialists. I walk to the nest entrance. I look down and only see darkness. No clear count. The hunting ants have dug deeper overnight. I order the queens to bring everyone up. Sentry ants stream out about 150 by my rough count. And blackside hunting ants follow. Only 23 sentry ants are small and many. Hunting ants are large and few. Which fits the queen signal me through. Species contract more eggs. And weaker juveniles are still in the nest. And need a few hours to mature. I leave the queens to mind the nursery and head out. With all the workers outside freezing. The moment I step out the door, I shiver violently, hurry to tighten my coat, rub my hands, and stop my feet as I check the weather panel. Weather light snow. Outdoor -9.5, indoor 14.2. Daytime remaining 6 hours. 55 minutes 12 seconds. The shelter delay cost half an hour, and I now have exactly 7 hours. Snowflakes the size of 50-cent coins drift down. Soon a thick layer will sit on everything. Snow further hides chests. I check the chat. Snow is falling near other shelters too, which equalizes the field. Sentry ants and hunting ants are unbothered by the cold. I split the sentry ants into 8 squads of about 20. Each one per direction: east, south, west, north, northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest, with orders to net, search for chests and report mutated beasts. Their main job is the chests. Secondary job is intelligence on mutated beasts, roaming the territory, ring after the black iron evolution. They could keep up with my walk. After bronze they match my run. The 8 squads scatter and vanish in seconds. 23 bronze hunting ants at my feet, fist-sized each, look intimidating on mass comfort. If I meet another mutated squirrel today, I do not lift a finger. I do not know how many beasts hide around the shelter, so I will wait until the sentry ants have reported, then visit the red heart fruit tree. In the squirrel catch, I send the hunting ants out too, with orders to follow the sentry ants, and carry back any chest as an afterthought. I tell 2 hunting ants to stay near me as bodyguards. After the mutated squirrel, I do not walk anywhere outside without backup. I head back inside to harvest the wheat. Snow is now thick, enough to muffle the sound of my own footfalls. The world feels smaller than it is. The multi-year winter wheat is fully ripe overnight. Golden across the trays, I try the bronze axe, but the cramped space and tough stalks defeat me. The axe is too heavy and blunt for cutting. Should I buy scissors or a sickle, as I think? A young, black-side hunting ant peeks from the nest entrance, mandibles shaped like sides. How could I forget? I send the queen a command, and 13 young hunting ants emerge, climb the trays, and cut the wheat like combine harvesters. Under 3 minutes all harvested. I take out the new 100 seeds Chong has sent, and prepare to sow when a thump from outside hits, along with the hunting ants' signal chests. I rush out. 2 walking chests are running across the snow, carried by hunting ants in barely a dozen minutes. To found the hunting ants, dropped the chest at my feet without ceremony, then turn and head back out to support the sentry ants. No rest needed. A grateful thought lands and passes. Gratitude does not register on ant brains, but the species contract registers, something close to acknowledgement, and that is enough. Even if I were given double or triple the time, finding a chest myself would be a struggle. Professionalism. The first chest is black iron, the second bronze. Temporary chests have the same drop tables and visuals as regular chests have the same drop tables. I open both. Black iron yields long cotton socks, a bottle of water, and a black iron pickaxe. Bronze yields white bread, a black iron machete, a box of 6 cold granules, and a bronze grade blueprint. Every item is useful. Cotton socks for the cold, a water bottle, a black iron pickaxe to finally start mining stone, a piece of white bread that is real bread instead of brick rye, and a black iron machete that is sharper than swinging the axe at flesh. The 6 cold granules are life-saving in the coming wave. Even on Blue Star a cold could escalate, and here a cold without medicine is potentially fatal. The blueprint is the shocker. Quick hemostatic bandage, bronze grade wrap on a wound for fast hemostasis. Crafting cost plant fiber, adhesive coagulation serum. Even on Earth blood loss is a top cause of casualty, and here it is fatal. A producible bandage is hard currency. The materials are uncertain. Only plant fiber looks easy, and adhesive and coagulation serum will need digging. I will ask Junghan, will after the mission, or hit the trade channel. I use the blueprint, move the rest into the shelter, and have 10 hunting ants help loosen soil. So the new seeds and shell the harvested wheat. They have no complex emotions and excellent stamina. If they did, they would curse me as a capitalist. 10 adult and 13 young hunting ants. Finish soil sowing and shelling in under 10 minutes. Extreme efficiency. Wheat total roughly 10 kilogram. Matches my estimate. I sack it into an empty bucket. An idea if I lend hunting ants out to others. Will they still answer me? Or does I have taming in species contract require physical proximity? If they answer regardless, I can run a labor dispatch service with hunting ants for farm work, harvest assistance, recon by rental, all at far better margins than buckets or fences, and at zero risk of being undercut, since nobody else has tamed hunting ants. Chianga alone is a major customer, since my multi-year winter wheat seeds came from her, and I have no idea how much she has planted. If her field is anywhere near my crop's density, manual harvest would eat her entire daytime for days. I will verify the contract distance when I have time, but it is something to remember. 10 kilos is enough for me alone for over a month, but I am not alone. The whole ant gang eats too. Cold wave is close, food storage is the priority, and ant numbers have to be controlled, especially hunting ants who eat meat. Cap the hunting ants at 50 for now and replace losses. Sentry ants are small and plant-based, so cap at 1,000 for now. Territory expansion will produce more recon work. The sentry ant ceiling will get raised. As shelter levels open more ground, the hunting ant ceiling stays low, until I have a stable meat pipeline, beyond what the hunter queen requires for her own breeding. After a stable food source, the ant army can grow without strangling itself. The principle is the same as for me. Specialize, do not bloat, and never run a colony past what the food chain supports. Another dozen minutes pass. The third chest still has not been found, and I had to in under 10. Anxiety climbs. I keep crafting fences while waiting. 20 minutes later, the sentry ant signal pings and I jump up, and immediately the next signal hits and freezes. The smile mutated beast spotted. Last chest is nearby. I grab the new black iron machete, take 10 adult hunting ants and run southeast. After 5 fast minutes, I stop about 400 meters from the shelter. 40 sentry ants are scattered close by, without ants since I would never spot them, and the 13 remaining hunting ants are also nearby. Producing each hunting ant is expensive, so seeing 0 losses is a relief. -1 meters ahead is an earthen mound, over 6 meters tall, a 2-meter cave entrance. Carved in the center, a massive mutated wild boar sleeps at the cave mouth. The last chest sits under its head as a pillow. Mutated wild boar. Bronze-grade abilities, charge, thick skin and flesh. Even lying down, the boar is a meter tall. It is 1.5 meters and at least 300 kilograms, with 30 centimeter tusks like daggers. 2 abilities, both clearly hard to deal with. Hunting ants can take small mutated beasts, but a bronze boar with thick skin is rough. Even winning would burn ants, but the boar is on the chest and without it, the mission slips. IDM will, since he sells bronze boar meat, and must have killed one. He does not reply. Probably also doing the mission. I have to think for myself. Killing it is not the goal. The chest is lured away. Hunting ants cause damage, but are slow and big target. Bad lure. Sentry ants are fast and many and replaceable. Good lure. The question is whether sentry ants can anger and lure wild boar. At all, their stings may not break thick skin enough to register, and the boar may simply ignore them. But sentry ants can swarm into nostrils, ears and eye corners where thick skin is irrelevant, and even a beast can be driven crazy by enough small bites in tender places. I have to try. I order 40 sentry ants to harass the boar collectively, and 10 hunting ants to hide in a tree nearby, ready to act when the boar leaves. They go in and grab the chest. I leave the area fast. I am too large a target to stand here, and a charge from the boar would be the end. As I clear 100 meters, an angry roar roughs behind me, ground shaking with thump, thump, thump. Plan succeeded. Half the wind is provoking, the rest is luring. Far enough for the hunting ants to steal. I jog back to the shelter. Outside is so cold that standing still stiffens limbs in minutes, and only inside the shelter do I thaw. I keep crafting fences to distract myself. 1, 2, 3, and the hunting ant signal pings. I rush out. A hunting ant is trundling toward me, carrying the chest across snow. I take it. Black iron. Temporary chest, disappointing on rarity, but ranking is by count and speed, not rarity. I open it. 3 items spill out before I can look. A familiar broadcast cuts in. Survivor, congratulations on finding 3 temporary chests, deployed in your territory in 49 minutes. 53 seconds. Temporary mission. Treasure chest, scramble, complete your count and speed. Rank first in the area. Reward 1. Self-selected gold rank item. Small golden box drops into my hand. I have only encountered a few silver rank items so far. Each abnormally strong gold should be more so. As I prepare to open it, the broadcast fires again. The total temporary chests collected in this area has reached 5,000. All remaining uncollected temporary chests have disappeared. Mission ended. Wait. I just opened my 3rd and the mission is over. So in my entire region no other survivor found 3. Are these chests really that hard for level 2 and above survivors? Larger territory plus mutated beasts make sense. Level 1 survivors with 300 meters ranges, and no mutated beasts should have managed 3. Too weak for sentry ants. The chests are easy without the board pillow. I would have wrapped in 20 minutes. I was tense and the field could not see my tail lights. The chat is wailing at the abrupt end. Already over. I only found 1. The hiding spots are insane. 1 was on my shelter roof. Mine was buried with 1 corner exposed. I thought it was a welfare event and got nothing. In an hour probably nobody found all 3. If someone did, I will wash my hair standing on my head. So the chests were placed in anti-human spots, and the snowfall further obscured them. Other survivors search by sight. My sentry ants do not no matter how hidden. If it is in territory, no problem. Without the sentry ants, I would have found one at most, and missed top 100 easily. Let alone first. The chat keeps rolling. Surely no one could have found all three. Probably not, only one are total. If someone really did three, I will wash my hair standing on my head. That kind of bravado that masks suspicion. I do not advertise my result. The hidden first place is exactly the place I want to be. The kind of nail that does not stick out, and does not get hammered. The sentry ants got the credit silently, and I get to keep my edge for the next round. I look at the squad with gratitude and then pain. The team that lured the boar, 10 hunting ants and 40 sentry ants, returned with 10 hunting ants and 12 sentry ants. 28 sentry ants dead of the survivors. Almost all are wounded, missing antennae. Broken legs. Ants have no minds and only follow orders. But they are mine and they earned this win. 28th century ants died trampled by a sleeping animal. The survivors are walking, with broken legs and missing antennae. I am supposed to be the one who chose this path, and they are the ones bleeding for it. The boar will not see another sunset. I sentence it silently and turn to the items. A bottle of water, a piece of pig iron, a pair of knitted gloves. I put on the gloves and warmth pulls back into my hands. I drink some water, pick up the pig iron and head inside with the ants. I warm up, then open the gold gift package. I hope for combat power. The boar exposed me. As shelter level rises, mutated beasts get worse. And so does the territory I cannot avoid stepping into. Combat power has to come from somewhere, and ants can only carry so much weight on their own. Without an upgrade, I unwrap the gold gift box. A golden flash, 3 items in the air, each rotating slowly in the air for me to pick from. Pursued longbow gold rank. Arrows gain auto correction within 10%. Detection telescope gold rank. Sees through darkness, observes scenes beyond 500 meters. Gene manipulator gold rank. Extracts gene fragments from biological flesh and integrates them into other organisms, granting characteristics. Each effect is abnormal. Pursuit longbow makes a novice lethal at archery, in which man does not dream of perfect aim. But I have no arrows, and a cold weapon scales on raw strength. I do not have skip. Detection telescope is excellent. But my recon is run by sentry ants, who do not need vision once the territory is mapped. I can send them past 500 meters anyway, and I'm not going to walk into the dark world personally regardless. Skip. That leaves gene manipulator. It extracts and implants genes. I see uses immediately, and they branch in every direction. Mutated beast genes into hunting ants, for bigger and stronger versions. Avian genes into sentry ants, for flying scouts that scale walls and treetops nothing on the ground can reach. Boar tiger, brown bear genes into hunting ants for raw power. Aquatic genes into sentry ants for water reconnaissance, whenever rivers come into play. Spider venom genes into sentry ant queens. If I can figure out the implantation order, combined with ant reproduction, the upside is immeasurable. If a hunter queen breeds hunting ants, and I gene fuse them off the production line, the army specialization can be tuned per ant, rather than per species choose. I pick the gene manipulator. The 3 orbs vanish, and a microscope-like instrument appears. I take Will's bottle of mutated wild boar blood, and figure out the operation in a few minutes. The interface is simple. Place flush on the platform, and it auto-separates gene fragments, at a ratio that depends on the donor material's quality. 1 bottle of boar blood yields 5 gene fragments. Then place the recipient creature on the platform. To implant, I select a hunting ant. 5 minutes and its body twists violently, and I feel a signal: energy, energy, energy. The panel black side. Hunting ant bronze grade. Mutated wild boar gene fusion in progress. Requires intake of flesh or plants to complete fusion. The fusion gave it omnivory. It can eat plants now. To finish, I do not have meat ready, so I send it outside to graze. It charges a small white birch tree, opens its sides, and chews the entire tree down in 10 minutes. The ant then changes drastically. Fist-sized to small piglet-sized. Hundreds of times bigger, with thick bristles all over. No one would call this an ant. Half-meter scythe mandibles, ferocious. The gene manipulator straight up upgrades my ants. Updated panel black scythe. Hunting ant bronze grade. Fused genes mutated wild boar. Currently 0 gene fusions possible. Can fuse 1 more upon reaching silver rank. So below bronze, ants fuse 1 gene. After silver they can fuse 2. Silver is a strength leap. Pushing the hunter queen to silver becomes more urgent. A survival manual notification pings Will. How to kill a mutated wild boar. Did you encounter one? He warns. Even he does not confront one head on. He used poisoned arrows to wear it down. If I had picked the pursuit longbow, that path would have been mine. Now I have a better option. The gene-fused hunting ant. Same volume. Ants are nearly invincible. Just to be safe, I fuse more. Half an hour later, 20 gene-modified hunting ants stand in front of me. Too big for the shelter, so I plan to dig an outdoor nest later. First the boar. I do not let grudges sleep overnight. When strength permits, killing the boar. Gets revenge for the 28th century ants it crushed, plus several hundred gen of meat, gene fragments for more hunting and upgrades, and bulk food for the hunter queen, which between bronze meat at scale. and the nucleus food bonus could push her to 100% and silver in one shot. At silver she breeds silver-grade hunting ants directly. My entire combat ceiling rises. Silver mutated beasts start to look survivable. The boar dying tonight is not just emotional payoff. It is the next gate. I take the 20 hunting ants and head for the boar's lair. 460 meters from my shelter in a cave. The mutated wild boar is gnawing a sweet potato, in a foul mood after being woken by ants, and chasing some down to crush. Still grumpy, it dug up a sweet potato. Now it sees dark figures approaching. Mutated boars are still bad-sighted, but the trespass on its meal is enough. Eyes red snorting. It charges. The arriving party is 20 modified hunting ants. The boar gets a few howls, before being literally torn to shreds. Only a pool of blood and flesh remains. I watch from 100 meters. I had been worrying about losses, and instead the boar is gone in a flash. Not ants, war machines. A new sense of security wells up. Yesterday I was crawling away from a mutated squirrel, with 2 gashes through my padded jacket. Today 20 modified hunting ants reduce a 300 kilogram bronze beast to pulp in a flash. The shape of my survival has changed in 2 days, and the engine of that change is the eye of taming. The species contract the mutated spring water, and now the gene manipulator. Stacking together, none of them by themselves would matter. Together they move the floor. The 300 kilogram corpse will draw monsters at night, so I butcher on the spot rather than dragging it back. Even at half meat yield, that is 300 jin of bronze boar meat. Meat prices have dropped, because more hunters kill beasts, but bronze boar meat is still about 30 wood per jin. 300 jin equals 9,000 wood with other materials. Killing one boar is roughly 10,000 wood. 20 hunting ants act as 20 professional butchers, and finish in minutes. Then my smile fades. This meat yield is wrong. Where is the meat? I have only 30 jin of boar meat, 1 jin of pig blood, 1 hide, a pair of 30-centimeter tusks like daggers, and 20 some jin of various offal combined. Well under 100 jin. The other 500 jin is missing. I kick through the offal with the black iron machete, and find a red walnut-sized orb beast core. Bronze grade, the condensed essence of a mutated creature's life, generated by bronze grade or higher mutated creatures. So the missing weight became this core. Number wonder meat prices are this high. There is not much meat to begin with. Contentment brings happiness. The 10,000 wood jackpot is a fantasy. The remaining materials are still worth at least 1,000 wood, more than enough to upgrade to level 3. The beast core itself is a bronze, sustainable item by description, and even though I do not yet know what to do with it, anything condensed from a mutated creature's life, energy is worth holding rather than selling, especially with the Hunter Queen, still climbing towards silver. 4 tusks at 30 centimeters, can plausibly be sharpened into stabbing weapons, or traded. The hide is winter-grade material. The offal goes straight to the Hunter Queen as fuel. The 30 gen of muscle meat, I keep partly for myself, and partly to feed the next breeding wave. Nothing is wasted. Upgrading level 3 requires 500 wood and 100 stone. I currently have around 200 wood, leaving a deficit of 300 wood and 100 stone. As more chests have produced pickaxes of various rarities, and a few survivors found pick blueprints, stone mining has scaled up. The wood to stone exchange rate has dropped to about 1 to 2. Bronze meat is around 30 wood per jin. The 20 jin would more than cover the upgrade, but I am also short on meat, and unless I have to I will not sell. Plenty of daytime left. Explore the territory ring first. Settle the deficit at night with a meat sale, if necessary. I have the hunting ants carry the boar harvest back, including the offal in a bucket, since the Hunter Queen will eat anything fleshy, and that saves resources an hour later. With the sentry ants, I have swept the entire 500-meter ring, this time with explicit orders, to find mutated beasts and unusual plants. 4 black iron mutated rabbits were found, and the combat squad dispatched them quickly. 25 jin of black iron rabbit meat, 2 jin of rabbit blood for hides. Black iron does not produce beast cores, so meat yield is much higher. 4 rabbits roughly equal a wild boar in meat. The sentry ants also found several sweet potato sprouts where the boar's old lair was fully matured. About 20 jin total, all carried back. I had the sentry ants thoroughly sweep the squirrel area. 7 different burrows, 15 jin of nuts and seeds in total. I also picked the remaining 8 red heart fruits, and broke off a branch from the mother tree. For Junha, I DM her with the harvest. She replies instantly, great. She really needs these, by the way. Has my shelter upgraded to level 3? Not yet, still short on resources. She does not reply with words. She opens a trade and lists 300 units of wood. I stare at the trade window. To casually push 300 wood across a long-distance link, she has to already be at level 3, with a comfortable surplus. She follows up with a careful warning. After level 3, the territory expands to a 2,000 meters radius, and silver mutated beasts may appear in the new ground. They are very independent and may not stay in one place. With strength far above bronze mutated beasts, she underlines the words may not stay in one place, because that is the part that matters. Bronze beasts had territories I could map and avoid. Silver beasts roam, which means tomorrow's safe path could be tonight's death zone. 2,000 meters is a huge territory. Going from a 500-meter ring to a 2,000-meter ring is a jump from roughly 78 hectares of accessible ground to roughly 1,250 hectares, more than 15 times the previous coverage. Century ant patrols at this scale require either far more century ants or smarter paving, and the century ant queen's production expansion ability suddenly looks indispensable. Roaming silver beasts inside that area are bad news, for the same reason a bronze boar was bad news. In a smaller ring they do not stay put, and territory edges become moving targets. My modified hunting ants are bronze with one fused gene. I do not yet know if they can fight silver. The information matters and concerns my safety. I have countermeasures though. Sentry ant border patrols give early warning at the territory edge, and a chain of sentry ants along the perimeter can be tasked to scout and flee. On the first whiff of a silver mutated beast, the hunter queen pushing to silver soon will let her breed silver hunting ants directly, which short circuits the resource bleed of upgrading individual bronze hunting ants one at a time. Border early warning plus a reactive silver army equals defensible posture. Even before I have hunted my first silver mutated beast, I thank her, close the manual, and tell the hunting ants to chop trees. I had wanted them to chop earlier, but they were too small and inefficient. After the Borgi fusion the problem is gone. Curious how many trees they take down. In the remaining hours, I head into the shelter and dump the boar, offal and rabbit meat into the hunter queen's nest to keep her rate climbing, while I craft fences the new hunter queen rate, with the nucleus's 30% food consumption boost, stacked on top of organ grade meat, climbs visibly inside the manual panel. Every 10 minutes I peek, and the percentage is crawled. Another 2 or 3 points. Nucleus, organ feed, and a queen with potential ceiling at silver. Every input is now compounding. Meanwhile, in a corner of the dark world, beneath a giant tree wide enough that more than a dozen people would need to encircle it, 1,000 square meter field stretches around the base. Half is golden multi-year winter wheat, fully mature but unharvested, simply left in the soil. Survivors elsewhere would vomit blood at the sight. The other half is strange-shaped plants, some barely recognizable, some wholly new species. A graceful figure bends over the soil sowing seeds, hands and feet muddy and unbothered. Soon Hachi straightens after the bag empties, and wipes her forehead with the back of her hand. She murmurs, "Phew. Finally planted. Hope luck is better this time and more plants mutate. That way little green can collect more gene fragments and grow stronger." The giant tree's leaves rustle, without wind answering her. She continues, "Do not worry, little green. I will work hard to collect different plants to help you reforge the glory of the Casimir world tree." She stumbles on the long name, and the leaves rustle louder until she gets it right, then quieter and satisfied. A world tree indeed, like a childish ghost. She glances at the wheat field. With this much ripe wheat, harvesting it alone would burn an entire daytime. If little green could help her, but little green expends serious energy in active labor, and must conserve to guard against the silver black bear to the northwest. She returns to her shelter on a tree branch, up to 30 meters above the ground. From a bronze chest she takes a golden scroll. Mutual aid contract, gold rank. Select a target, establish a mutual aid contract. Both parties cannot harm each other with permission. Can teleport to the other shelter. Usage limit 5 times a lie. She decides to think it over tonight. Before deciding, daytime is precious, so she tucks the scroll away and starts compounding ripening agent. At the work table, her workbench sits beside a large window of polished wood, and the bottles of mutated plant extracts are arranged by hue and viscosity. Orange concentrates in the front for accelerators, pale green in the back for stabilizers, a few ember drops kept apart for the rare cross mutation she does not yet trust. Each bottle is labeled with a script she invented, pure inheritance from a botanist grandmother. She likes to say while she works. The giant tree's leaves rustle softly above the field, almost like a long exhalation. Little green is content. She is content. The wheat will keep the contract weights in the chest. By the time I surface from the focused crafting trance, fences pile up to my chest, and the cramped shelter has run out of floor space. I emerge with stiff arms and gulp from a mineral water bottle. Outside it has gone dark earlier than I expected. The manual reads 3 hours have passed, and I am amazed I worked through it without break. 2 days ago I could not last 2 hours. The red heart fruit's repeat use has thickened my fibers. Wood production has scaled across the population, so survivor demand for safety fences is higher, and prices have ticked up, rather than down. I list the new fences at 6 wood per piece on the trade channel and head out to the birch grove to check on the hunting ants. The birch grove is gone. Hundreds of birches reduced to low stumps. The entire forest converted to logs in 3 hours. I stare at the bare ground, surprise and disbelief and pleasure all at once. The hunting ants are at the far edge, in an open clearing, still working. They fell the trees, then trim branches with their scythes, then stack them neatly. Hundreds of clean logs piled with craftsman precision. I had only ordered them to chop. They added the trim and stacked themselves. Their stamina is essentially limitless. I count the haul to 1,029 units of wood. 3 hours with this kind of wood. One can upgrade to level 3 shelters. I no longer need to sell meat, but this kind of harvest is not repeatable. My territory has only one dense forest, and the hunting ants have leveled it. The remaining trees are scattered. In total, roughly 1,000 units of wood across long distances. SO collection is inconvenient. If only I could rent the hunting ants out. Labor dispatch, get rich in minutes. Realistic question first. Even at full hunting and deployment, hauling 2029 wood back takes 2 to 3 hours. And I have under an hour of daylight left. It cannot all reach the shelter. But this is my territory. I am the only survivor in it, and the wood is not going anywhere overnight. Better still, upgrade the shelter on the spot and skip the haul. I opened the trade channel for stone in bulk. After some browsing, I land on Yahello, who has listed 300 units to list this much this early. He must be capable. The price is too high. 2.5 wood per stone when market is 2.12 to 2.2. I messaged him, can the price be lower? I need a large quantity in a corner of the dark world. In a level to shelter. Disheveled, bearded young man banging on a stone axe. Perks up at the manual beep. Big customer finally. He drops the axe, opens the manual and forces composure. Yichin large quantity. How large? Someone today bought 10 stones. And also called that large. Me? I will take all 300 units of stone you have listed. Is that a large quantity enough? On his side he nearly cries with excitement. He badly lacks wood. His shelter is in stone country with few trees. His original stone axe broke before he collected much. And he survived only because a chest dropped. A silver mining pick after he dug too much stone. The price dropped and his high listing has been waiting for a faded beer. Almost a full day with no inquiries. And finally a customer. Do not panic. Facing a big fish, he tells himself. He replies, brother, this price is the lowest. You do not know how hard stone is to collect. I'm the only one offering this much at once. You sly dog, raising the price on contact. I shake my head and reply. 2.1 wood per stone deal if yes. I can also accumulate slowly. Tonight the night is long. He insists, brother. Every stone has been over flesh and blood. Are your stones going to turn into Sun Wukong? I am unmoved. Then forget it. He has to take the deal, because he genuinely needs wood, and cannot afford to gamble on my bluff. Fine, fine, brother. Your way. If I were not in a hurry, I would not part with them. He sends a friend request, and we trade 300 stones for 630 wood. I accept the friend of the original 2029 wood. 1,399 remain plus the 300 stone level 3 upgrade, plus a buffer for facilities. Easy. I opened the manual. Do you wish to consume 500 wood and 100 stone to upgrade the shelter? Yes. Shelter upgrading. Please wait. The wood and stone vanish from my inventory as the panel ticks the consumption, and a small spinning indicator hovers in my mind's eye. The upgrade has started. I look up at my old level 2 box from 100 meters out and break for whatever the upgrade animation looks like. The chat channel is quiet at this hour, with most survivors deep into their nightly bonfire. Crouch and preparing for the 17 are dark. The cold pricks my cheeks. Despite the cotton suit and the gloves, I tighten the collar and walk a few steps closer to the construction zone, watching to make sure no mutated beast wanders into the gap during the build process. 5 minutes later, the shelter completes the upgrade to level 3. Exquisite wooden house. The waiting felt longer than the timer, because my eyes were on the dark ring of the territory edge the whole time, half expecting a silver mutated beast to wander in and find me out in the open with no fence and no cover. I am still at the old grove site. With the trees gone, the line of sight to the shelter is clear, and I watch the upgrade visually for the first time. A globe of darkness wraps the original 20 square meter wooden house, and when it dissipates, an 80 square meter exquisite wooden house with a stone-laid base stands in its place compared to the level 2 box. This is a real house. Space, safety, aesthetics, all step changes. Building a house in minutes from nothing is more black tech, and I have stopped trying to understand the engine. New buildable facilities. Level 1 farmland. 200 wood, 100 square meters of monster immune protected farmland for planting. Level 1 animal pen. 200 wood and 50 stone. 100 square meters of monster immune protected pen for raising creatures. Level 1 workbench. 100 wood and 50 stone. A workbench that speeds item crafting and reduces fatigue. Farmland is an absolute steal. I paid 56 wood for a 12 square meter 3-tier nursery, and 100 square meters for 200 wood is many times the rate. The pen is more useful than I first thought. Hunting ants and sentry ants are growing in numbers, and letting hunting ants tunnel under the shelter is a collapse risk. The workbench is exactly what it sounds like. Slave driver's whip for crafting, increasing both speed and stamina. I build all 3 at once. 500 wood and 100 stone total, equivalent to another level 3 upgrade in resource terms. Farmland and pen near the shelter. Workbench beside the stove. Indoors, the farmland fence is tall and clearly demarcated. The pen smaller. Sits to the side. I have the hunting ants carry some wood inside for the night and head in. The level to shelter at 20 square meters have been claustrophobic, with bed, stove, cabinet, 3 empty chests, 3-tier nursery, and the spring water source competing for floor. 80 square meters with no room dividers is suddenly empty and spacious. Insulation has improved noticeably too, closing the door alone. The chill drops even before I light a fire. After a level 3 upgrade, I feel real comfort settle in, the kind one have not had since I arrived. As long as the stove burns, the cold waves should not freeze me. The cold waves to threats are extreme cold and food, and I now have enough preparation on both axes to exhale. I like the stove and consider dinner inventory. 20 gin of multi-year wheat, 9 red heart fruits, 22 gin of sweet potatoes, 30 gin of bronze boar meat, 25 gin of black iron rabbit meat plus chest bread. The startup phase is over. Tonight is barbecue. I have been on rye bread for days, and gave the meat to the hunting ants without tasting. I save when I should and spend when I should. I am no miser. I wipe the black iron longsword, clean cut large slabs of boar and rabbit, chop into cubes, split sticks with the axe skewer and roast on the stove. The slabs are thick and slow to cook through, but that is fine. Flip occasionally. The snail turns on within minutes and I swallow audibly. Wait, no barbecue without seasoning. Cumin chili powder, black pepper without those. No, so I check trade channel. Nobody selling. I post on the chat channel. Anyone selling cumin chili powder, black pepper paying high. The chat detonates immediately. Holy cow, why is Boss Jang Hoon buying seasonings? Is he doing barbecue cumin chili powder barbecue? I have not even hit rye bread freedom, and Boss Jang Hoon is at barbecue freedom, brother. Can you give me a piece? If you give me a piece of barbecue, I will do whatever you say. Hey, you can see avatars in the chat. You do not have the looks for this. My private DMs flood with freeloaders, to the point I have to disable non-friend messages. I rub my forehead regretting the broadcast. 3 messages a day on the world channel, and I burned 1 on cumin. I had been on top of my development cycle, and a single careless line about barbecue collapsed. My privacy for the night lesson logged. Never broadcast. Aspirational consumption on the world channel. Everything goes through DMS and friends. Just as I close the manual, the friend bell pings Shanga. She and I have been friends since day 1. Shanga Jongyun, it is night again. Do you still have mutated spring water to trade? My eyes light up. She is the highest probability seasoning supplier. I know, plant specialist. I reply, we will get to that. Do you have any seasonings like cumin, chili powder, etc.? She is stunned. Why is he asking? Before she can reply, I send a trade, with a string of barbecue skewers on my side, and her eyes widen at the golden sizzling, oily roasted pork skewers Shang has. Plant path is real, but she is not a vegetarian. Days of not tasting meat, weak tears flow at the sight. Yes, she replies. I have many kinds logically. With her wealth she could easily buy fresh meat, but her cooking is so terrible. The food she makes is inedible, so she has been eating chest food and porridge. Hence the meat deprivation reflex. I grin, ask if she wants to trade barbecue for seasonings, and she instantly agrees. We trade to boar skewers, and to rabbit skewers for cumin, chili powder and a green pepper. Powder she cultivated from a plant called green pepper, which according to her tastes like a mild mustard. On her side, she has forgotten her original purpose entirely. She is sprinkling all 3 seasonings, eating with oil dripping, almost swallowing her tongue. I eat the rest of the skewers and nod satisfied. Cooking has not declined since I started living alone. After grandfather passed, if anything. Tonight outdid myself, not skill. Ingredient quality, bronze and black iron meats and chungus, mutated plant seasonings, produce a flavor past every barbecue I've ever made. Better still, after eating, I feel warmth spread through my body, and even my physique seems faintly improved. Ranked meats are not just delicious, they are physique buffs, and over time, the cumulative effect should be significant. Like the red heart fruit, I am no hedonist, but if pleasure also makes me stronger, no hesitation, I commit to chasing ranked grains and meats. In the future, the red heart fruit already proved that physique can be improved through ingestion if the material is rare enough. Ranked meats clearly do the same. Incrementally, stack red heart fruit with ranked food daily, and the cumulative buff over weeks could meaningfully raise my baseline. The base tier of survival is no longer one fence in a fire. It is what I eat and what my ants eat, and both feed the same combat ceiling. After the barbecue, I walk to the ant nest. By the spring, the animal pen is built, but it is night and I have not moved the nest yet, so the original is still in place. I summon the hunter queen. The panel reads, current mutation evolution success rate 87%. Flesh and blood materials raise the rate. Highly likely reproductive evolution 13% from silver. Since the bronze evolution, she had only climbed 11% on the meat I fed her, plus the 20-some gin of boar and rabbit organs. From the cleanup, those waste organs alone added 76%. Should have bought organs from the start. Would have saved a fortune. Trade channel still has nobody selling them, since organs are foul and most hunters discard them. I take out for gin of boar meat and feed her. She trembles excitedly, and devours all for gin into minutes. Rate spiking to 100. Drink the spring water. She walks happily to the source. She remembers what comes after. She drinks 5 milliliters before stopping. More than the small tasting, because her body is bigger now. I did not G-infuse her, so she is 7 or 8 cm. And not the half-meter of the boar-fused workers. The water takes effect and her body swells rapidly. 5 minutes 10 times bigger. 70 or 80 centimeters long. Her originally all black abdomen now carries layered silver ring patterns, mysterious and almost ornamental. Her side mandibles are nearly gone. She is a reproductive ant, and every evolution strengthens reproduction, at the cost of offense. Ordinary hunting ants at silver get sharper and bigger. Mandibles, queen shed them. She is in extreme energy depletion post-evolution, so I give her boar meat to refill. She inhales at panel black scythe. Hunter and queen silver rank potential. Silver rank already at limit. Can break with special items or skills type. Reproductive abilities rapid reproduction. Production expansion rapid development. Fuse genes none currently can fuse genes to times. Rapid development is a new ability. Inject energy into newly hatched larvae and rapidly develop them to mature state. Double the normal energy cost. Not for daily use but a clutch save in a pinch. Instantly spawn thousands of hunting ants for counterattack if anything threatens me. 2 gene fusions on the queen. Now I have not rushed queen fusion because there is only one of her, and the choice has to be cautious. Vague hypothesis fusing higher potential creature genes might raise growth potential. If she fused with a gold creature gene, would she gain gold growth potential? Trade channel does not even list silver flesh, let alone gold. This stays theoretical for now. While I am thinking, the queen finishes eating, rubs her antennae toward me and makes a shisha sound. The rhythm carrying meaning the species contract decodes directly into my head. Master the meat delicious hum. If it is tasty, eat more. Plenty of meat, I reply on autopilot and freeze. I am the only one in the shelter. Where did the voice come from? Chill down spine, I look around. No invaders. Only the queen with her abdomen on the floor, lifting her head to look at me, with 2 large black eyes calm. The voice earlier was not human, a strange rustling sound, but I understood the meaning directly. Realization, the only biological foreign language I can understand is the contracted ant. Species via species contract. The queen rubs her antennae again. Russell master confirmed until now. The ants including mole pre-silver only sent biological signals which I decoded. She has now sent an emotionally textured statement. With content, the previous ants were like robots, only receiving commands and executing them strictly, never transmitting messages with clear meaning and emotional shading in this dark world. Anything is possible, but the simplest explanation is the silver evolution pushed her over the intelligence threshold. Silver is clearly a strength and intelligence inflection point, not just a damage and durability bump. If silver mutated beasts roam level 3 territory, and they are this kind of inflection, the pressure is real, and the laziness from the upgrade in the meal evaporates. I sigh wryly. The dark world does not allow rest. Still, silver hunter queen is a serious upgrade, and once silver hunting ants breed and gene fuse with strong creatures, silver mutated beasts may become matchable. The resource problem rises again, because I had thought I was set and clearly I am not. I push it aside. You should have a name now. I tell her. She tilts her head. Name? Yes, a name. I rub my chin in brainstorm. I rule out Z. Hey little black. Too generic. After 2 minutes of careful brainstorming, my eyes light up in colored blade. Silent moon slay. The imagery a Korean classical scholar might have used. For a dark assassin, your name shall be Mole Russell. Russell Ink Moon Mole. Thank you, master. Whether she fully understands the meaning is unclear, but she straightens her upper body and waves her to small sides satisfied. Mole breeds some silver hunting ants. Powerful enemies are around the shelter. I need your strength. Yes, master. She cannot breed alone, so I invest another 10 gin of bronze boar meat to upgrade her 8 hunting ant harem to silver. To my surprise, ordinary silver hunting ants do not develop intelligence. Silver intelligence appears to be exclusive to queens, which fits ant social structure. Mole enters breeding state and I leave her alone, since her feeding cadence is hers to manage, and the haremans will work on her schedule. The new ant nest entrance is now a meter wide to fit her, which means the inner tunnel volume has more than doubled, and the hunting ants have stacked the spillover dirt into an impressive ring around the cavern that doubles as bedding for new larvae. I stand at the entrance for a few moments, listening to the soft clicks of mandibular work and the thin whine of feeding, and the scale of the nest hits me. A few days ago, this was 63 rice grain ants chewing my baguette, and now it is a silver tier breeding chamber. Specialization works. The of taming fountain of mutation. Species contract ant nest nucleus gene manipulator. The hunting ant queen and sentry ant queen, sharing a single nest with the nucleus inside, and now, the silver hunter queen with the gene fusion potential, all stack into a single thesis. Ants a scalable infrastructure. The fantasy of a dragon knight is dead and buried. The reality of an ant knight is taking shape, and it is already absurd. I look at the quick hemostatic bandage blueprint. Crafting cost adhesive. Coagulation serum plant fiber. None of these read as raw materials. They sound like processed products. A bronze grade blueprint with this complex. A craft chain is unusual. The night now runs 17 hours. Plenty of time to sort it out. Trade channel first adhesive owner Yo Hazel. -1 wood or 3 stone few sellers. I message her how much adhesive total. Half an hour into the night. She replies instantly, I only have 10 right now, but if you need more, I can make more. So adhesive has its own blueprint behind it. And she's on the production side. Plant fiber and coagulation serum almost certainly work the same way. I have just walked into a small craft economy I had not realized existed. So adhesive is also blueprint crafting, not raw. Probably the same for coagulation serum and plant fiber. I take 10 for now. Contact again. If more. She is happy because adhesive does not move quickly. Trade complete 50 wood for 10 units. Days tally. 348 wood from fences plus the hunting ant haul, minus stone purchase and upgrade in facilities. Leaves 399 wood in stock with my prior stash. Total 802 wood and 200 stone. Comfortably rich coagulation serum next. Far fewer sellers, one listing catches my eye. Owner will 100 wood per unit. Price negotiable via private message. Other listings are 20 to 30 wood exorbitant. But Will is honest and the negotiable note is a beacon. He is fishing for serious customers. Will sells fresh meat from day 2. Hunts heavily, has plenty of blood. And coagulation serum is possibly a blood derivative. I message him, Will. Your coagulation serum is too high. Market is 1/5. 10 seconds later. He replies, Jang Hyan. Why are you searching coagulation serum? Do you know its use? He set the high price to fish. I have nothing to hide. I have a quick hemostatic bandage. Blueprint coagulation serum is a raw material. I sent him the blueprint info, in his own level 3 shelter. Elsewhere, Will is on a wooden bed. Manual in hand, his bearded face, still smelling faintly of beast blood, from a recent processing session. The instant he reads the blueprint info, he stands up, bearded face complex with surprise. And joy, Jang Hyan, do you have this bandage? I can give you coagulation serum and mutated wild boar meat for free. Is Will injured? I almost asked before realizing the rhetorical answer. He fights vicious mutated beasts daily. Injuries are routine, I reply. I just bought adhesive, I only need coagulation serum and plant fiber to synthesize. He instantly, I have 15 portions of coagulation serum free. Just give me one bandage after you make it. 15 portions. Free at 30 wood per portion is roughly 450 wood, more than the bandage's value. Who really needs it? I could take the deal. High profit. Will is more valuable than the resources. The dark world is full of crises, and a fighting force of his caliber might save my life. I reply, I will buy your coagulation serum at market price, but the first bandage I make is yours. At normal market price, you provide me coagulation serum long term. Going forward on his side. Warmth. Jang Hyan can be a true friend. Although he wanted to give the serum free, since I refuse, he stops insisting, and silently resolves to send me more resources later. Trade 330 wood for 15 portions. Pale yellow vials sealed at the cork. I line them on the workbench shelf, alongside the 10 adhesive units, and the bench is starting to look like a small medical supply. Atelier. Last material. Plant fiber trade channel. Keyword. Plant fiber yields over 20 pages. Price is around 10 wood. Will's urgency is real. And I made a promise. I do not want to delay his injury, or sit on an unfulfilled promise. I pick the first reasonable listing, buy one portion at 10 wood, and sit at the workbench for the first time. The bench is like a spacious computer desk surface. Comfortable operation, smooth. Bandit. Crafting time drops from 10 minutes to 9 and 8 to half a minute. Does not look like much per item, but as crafted volume scales. The saving stack at 100 items. That is 50 minutes saved at 1000 items. It is more than 8 hours, and the fatigue reduction makes the back half of any session more productive. The bench is not just a fixture. It is the throughput multiplier for everything I make done. I trade request Will, who clearly is guarding his manual, and accepts instantly. I list one bandage. He lists 200 wood and 10 gen of bronze boar meat. Bandage cost is roughly 40 wood. 200 wood plus 10 gen of meat is at least 500 wood total. I look up. Will replies, part is the price, part is gratitude. Your bandage is a very valuable medical item, beyond ordinary resource pricing, and unless resources are scarce, do not sell it easily. I accept the trade. But his words land medical items. I have not seen any in the trade channel. The bandage is bronze in name, but the manufacturing chain is much harder than ordinary bronze items. The dark world may be deliberately controlling medical supply across the world. Why, I cannot guess yet. I shake it off. Too far for me to be useful right now. The medical supply control hypothesis stays in the back of my head as a flag, though if true, it has implications. The dark world wants survivors to die at expected rates from injury, and the bandage I just made is one of the very few items that breaks the model. A bandage that resolves blood loss has compounding effect on the population dynamics of survivors. Every hunt becomes more survivable. Every mutated beast confrontation becomes more profitable. Every survivor with one becomes incrementally tougher to remove from the population. A medical supply pipeline, even at small scale, distorts the death curve the system is enforcing, and the system reacts by limiting raw material availability rather than banning the items outright. The work is therefore feasible, just slow and politically sensitive, among other survivors who learn what I am brewing. Hence the artificial scarcity, hence Will's warning that a bronze bandage is far more valuable than its rank suggests. Hard not to wonder what other deliberate scarcities the system is enforcing. Clean water, antibiotics, antitoxins, prosthetics, heat sources. At scale, each unanswered category is a market gap, and a future supply pipeline I might own. With Junha's plant work, an alliance might be the engine that scales medical production, rather than just bandages, disinfectant from mutated alcohols, antitoxins from venom-cultivated plants, anti-inflammatory paste from leaf compounds. The dark world may want to keep medical supply scarce. Partnerships breaking that scarcity become exponentially more valuable. I filed the thought as priority. Pipeline development for after the cold wave. Now I want to make a batch. I opened the trade channel for plant fiber again and stop. How could I forget Yomha is a plant specialist? Plant fiber is not rare, and trading with a friend is preferable for relationship and supply stability. I DM her Shianha. Do you have plant fiber? She takes 5 minutes, long enough for me to drift to other tasks, and contemplate buying from a stranger. When she finally replies plant fiber yes. What do you need? Are you making something delicious? Plant fiber in food, what is the connection? I do not understand the leap on her side. Her face goes red, she clutches the manual tighter. Did I just say that? Will Jang Hyun think I am only a foodie? She covers oh. You asked for seasonings earlier, so I assumed food again. Explanation makes it worse. I let it go because she clearly cares about her image. She continues, by the way, I have plenty byproduct of stock plants. Currently 39 portions, I do not need them. I will give them all to you. Does everyone have to be this generous? Your 39 portions are 390 wit at market. I refuse to take her at a loss, and trade 50 milliliters of mutated spring water for the lot. I also tell her I am making bandages, and she gets priority supply if needed. As I am closing the manual, another message from her, by the way, Janghin. I was so focused on the meat, I forgot the important matter, when she asked about mutated spring water. Originally that was the lead-in, but I already gave her 50 milliliters. That should be enough, she continues. It is like this after a few days of interaction. I feel you are someone worth befriending. Good strength, good character. Excellent cooking, is that the main point? There is something strange in there. I prompted, so important matter. Not just to praise me, right? She, you wish. The important matter is I want to form an alliance. Become allies, I replied jokingly. Allies? I thought we already were. She, yes, but only a verbal gentleman's agreement. My idea is that we should establish a deeper level of cooperation. The dangers of the dark world are far more numerous than either of us imagines. One person's strength is limited. To survive better, we must prepare for a rainy day. The phrasing is careful.